Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We are up early because there is a tournament over in Europe for Heroes of the Storm called the Nations Cup that Caldor is running. I'm going to be joining him for casting after this game, actually. I just had my breakfast, so we're witnessing the first game. It's being between Team France and Team Germany at the moment. I should actually move my webcam during this so people can see stuff. We'll put it down. That's going to block shit. That's going to block the minimap. This should be good. Right? That should be fine. So we're live on Twitch and YouTube, so hopefully you guys all enjoy. And we'll see how it goes. But for right now, we're just watching Caldor's commentary, and we'll be joining him in game number 2. So welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Now the Germans, obviously, they didn't really expect that flank from the top. They saw an opportunity to get an easy kill and went for it. But that just resulted in them losing
so far, I think Team France is the favorite to win the tournament.
1.5 levels. And to
but Team Germany
at the top side,
is pretty darn solid themselves.
And a Quasar go for a kill against Blaze, and that is the end of the top side fort. So the French looking very, very strong here. Really nice improvement on the side of the blue team. I think they went up against Team
I'm ready for game 2, because no Genji makes this game so much more fun.
The Germans,
and they have the rules in this tournament that after you play a character, you can't play it for the rest of the draft.
I have to double check that, but still,
which is awesome.
This group is a tough one. And so far,
also Hogger, like Hogger and Genji, dude, and Samuro are like the 3 characters that like I just don't want to see anymore in HOTS. I would be okay with them being deleted.
Which is, of course, the most
Crazy never got the nerf he deserves. And to be fair, he has been nerfed to like being a brittle stick. He's just like a high offensive character.
His first threshold is at 25.
It'd be what it be, you know?
More important one at 55. If you get there, then you're becoming an absolute monster. Pinnacle reward, of course, is crazy, but
but it's still obnoxious in coordinated play.
See Thrall get to those numbers, and I don't expect it here either. Both teams now with heroics, but level 13 as an advantage for the French is definitely in the cards, and they should hit it soon once they eliminate the minions in the mid lane.
Great cleanse by Banana.
Problem for them. There it is already. Horrify.
Huge Horrify.
Hanzo.
Bunker answer great.
Negated, so no kill, even the bunker on the ground here for just
honestly,
a moment.
Good layer ults from both teams.
Had to pop his ult
France wins it though.
Well.
They didn't use ancestral healing.
Lots of damage done here in that last encounter, but nobody has been eliminated.
I like Hogger, but my 2 FU characters are Genji and Samuro. Agreed.
But Team France is starting to push in very aggressively, trying to make their move here. They're looking for the kill again with an X-Strike on Genji. Swift strike to follow that up. And Blaze gets murdered as Rega comes in for the last fight, and then they go for Hanzo. Sereni gets popped like a pimple. That's the end of Hanzo.
I hate when I get popped like a pimple, dude.
Back home, and that's now 10 kills, 2-3, and another objective for
I need to get Caldor in the deadlock. I feel like we would have a lot of fun casting.
37,000 damage for Gul'dan. We have 20,000 from Genji. And
so far, I think my favorite co-caster in Deadlock is Soren.
So at this point, they are,
he's so funny.
Attacked in the mid lane, and this doesn't really look too sexy for them.
He's like so try-hard that it's like endearing, you know what I'm saying? I love it.
Now falling. This is just setting the pace a little bit.
He's such a good dude.
At the bottom of the map, Hogger, for example, pushing too. So France is just taking advantage of these little plays that they're making, looking even for another kill here on Thrall, and they drop him. Thrall taken down once again. Blue team looking more like a well-oiled machine. Definitely much, much more on the same page and in sync than
Frog is kind of insane at level 20, but I don't know if they're going to get there.
The play for Muradin, who might also fall.
Oh my god.
Shield connect.
Germany is staggering like crazy right now. What are you doing, Germany?
Very, very well done.
Look at Genji just running down Hanzo. God, that character is so stupid.
To turn into a bit of a slaughter.
He's so dumb.
Performance here by the French team and the Germans.
Genji players are the worst, chat. I'm going to say it.
Right now,
I hate them.
Game number 1 is looking extremely.
You want to energy comment together? Well, thank you.
Making another play here.
Today I'm casting with Mox. I'm actually really scared to cast with him because he talks very, very quietly and he kind of whispers a little bit, and it's very golf energy the entire time. And I don't know how to approach it.
Down in their own base, essentially. They every now and then see maybe Hogger pop up at the bottom of the map. You can easily escape, but they don't really know
my casting
where
training
blue team is. Now they have the
tells me I need to match his energy and then try to power it up
And well, with the level
But I don't know if I
16
have the
talent
energy to
advantage, you
do
can't really
that.
blame
Just
the
go
French.
ASMR trick.
They're looking very,
Yeah, I
very
agree,
strong
Mox.
here.
That was a
They have
great
3 level lead,
engagement.
They have a talent advantage, and they are determined to use that.
I think it's
try
a
and push
very
this more aggressively,
complementary
and see if they
style,
can
and I
maybe
think it
get
might
the
actually
first
work in
kill of the
Deadlock because of
game.
how aggressive
And
it
with
is.
Gul'dan getting lots of damage in, and Hogger also being
How much demanding it is for commentary, but
they can
I'll have
do
to see.
exactly that. Again, the same play. Horrify against Thrall.
That'll
and
be a
he
fun
is
challenge
gone.
today.
Thrall is getting farmed this game. He already died 4 times. Hanzo died 5 times, by the way. So it's an absolute brutal display.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to play Thrall, you should not let the opponent team have Johanna. Johanna just destroys everything that Thrall wants to do, or you should change your build.
Ancestral hitting Masquerade.
He's going for the Maelstrom level 1 talent, which requires you to get in their face and get auto attacks on them. But, like, how are you going to do that against Johanna and a Hogger, right? You're not. And you're going to eat half the damage from Gul'dan.
And yeah.
That's why he's getting bullied here. I mean, look at his build, dude.
But the keep is still there.
His whole build is like, get in there. And then Johanna and Hogger are like, nah, bruh. Look at this. She even went Q build. Oh my god. Look at this. You ain't going to do nothing to that.
Gul'dan to drop a few more abilities in to try and take that.
I think the Thrall is misplaying hard.
So, maybe a chance for the Germans to hold on for that, to that a little bit longer. That's a big question.
Yeah, look at the stacks he has on it. 15.
Of course, the next objective is now coming up too.
I need to do research on this because I actually don't know what the full talent does, but I know you have to hit people. It's a new talent that was put in like a month ago, and I haven't played Thrall since then. I have so many characters to work on in HOTS. Good morning, Rin. How are you? Welcome to stream. If you guys are on the YouTube stream, by the way, make sure to say hello and engage, etc.
They do not have a level 16 talent, so they have to take a very disadvantageous
Very,
fight.
very helpful.
This is not a battle they want to take. They have to. There's very little else that they can actually pull off here.
I mean, I think they could defend.
If they lose the Punisher. So
yeah, Blue Team's just going to walk away from this. Arrow's too late. Yasuo just kites out.
Opponent will eventually hit 20.
They should leave. It's over, dude. They've popped 3 ultimates for nothing. Get out of there. Go soak middle and bottom, get 16 and have a miracle defense.
The Germans at least sustaining themselves so far quite well through the battles, but they're still at a disadvantage.
Germany, you are throwing right now, my dude.
Some hit in. Blessed Shield and Horrify are still available, and that's horrible for the red team. Already Muradin is getting attacked, and he's the first one to fall. They locked him down quickly and get the kill. Now Hanzo goes down. That's 16
It feels like Germany is like, alright, this game's over, dude.
Is eliminated too, and they're
just reset, go again.
This is going to be a 5-man team wipe, as the French can essentially move through the middle and end the game. There's some topside pressure here as well, and the blue team on their way to potential victory here. Fantastic performance by them. Again, I have to say, I am impressed with how much in sync they are. It looked a little bit more rough when they had their first match in the group, but this is just way more on point. And it is, without a doubt, a victory for them in game number 1. It's going to be interesting to see, though, what happens on the second map, if the Germans are going to bring this back. If this was a bit of a fluke,
they do have ults coming up in 20 if they delay long enough.
What's going to happen here?
But yeah,
hasn't given up.
2 keeps being
They're
down.
Still hoping for a bit of a miracle.
Ew.
They're hoping for mistakes on the blue team side. They hope for them to to completely just run it down middle now and get wiped. But here comes the attack again. Malfurion barely survives, and the core is already losing its points. Muradin pulls a Houdini and just disappears. And this is all she wrote. 20
GG, baby.
Kills, 2, 3. 14 minutes into the game as Team France comes in with the
honestly, Hogger is too broken. True.
They lock in the W and they take the lead
True.
in the best of 3 series here in Group B.
Woof. Okay, on my way, Mr. Caldor. Alright, let me grab Battle.net. We'll log in. Ooh, I have to do an update. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. Boo, 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 boo. On my way. EU, please. There we go. And let me hop in with Caldor into voice chat. Okay, let's get in there.
All right, can you actually hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Good morning. We're heading into map 2. The French just won against the Germans.
I watched it all. They got destroyed. Germany did. My gosh, Genji and Hager were running that front line. Poor Thrall was getting bullied out of his mind.
I think I casted the other game with you, right? France against UK, or didn't I? Did we do that together? Did I do that alone?
That was a week ago. I don't know.
I mean, I might have done it alone, but like it was really close, and I started to get a bit worried for the French. I was just like, wow, this is like the team with the Quasar and everyone. They were supposed to, just crush it, but this was way better. Lobby is up. Can join after me. We're going to Brexis actually.
Joining right now. Streaming data, and we in there.
Looks like Leo have a break again. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's okay. We can wait for a break. We can relax. We can vibe.
No. Leo is usually the one that announces the things. Maybe it's just a sound thing. Like, I don't know. Nothing that I'm going to take care of now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a collaboration. Accept it when you want to. No rush.
The Twitch thingy.
No rush.
Did you already?
I just sent it. Right meow.
What?
Let me see here. I'll send another one.
If
it doesn't work, it doesn't work. No big deal.
Stream together. Okay. TrikSlyr, invite guest. There. Send invite. That's all I gotta do, right? We're done now. Like, I have to do nothing else.
That should be it. Let me check. I didn't get it on my side. Well, no worries if it ain't working.
Yeah, you didn't get it either?
I didn't get it either. Yours is broken, bruh.
Didn't we do it last time?
I thought we did test it. Yeah. But it looks like
Wait, let me get the invite again. Invite. I can copy invite link. I can copy, keep invite link safe. Okay, I can copy invite link. Okay, the host or another mod just performed that action.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you the invite link in Discord as well, but yes, I try to send that out. So here's the collaboration link.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Let's see how that works. Join the session. Ooh, that's kind of working. Hang on, clicking it. I'm in.
Okay, good.
Cool. And then I think all you have to do is click the shared chat thing on the far right, and we are good.
Wait, I need to do more stuff?
Where underneath invite guests, there should be like a shared chat little thing. Just click that, and then I'll join our chats together.
Where's that? Start sharing chat.
There you go. Nice. Chat, we are now combined together. Hello, Caldor's chat. Trick chat, be nice to Caldor. I am a bit early.
Game's on. You're in, right?
Let's do it. Okay. I'm in. Let's game.
Okay. Alright guys, so we are going to Brexis. The French have actually spanked the Germans a little bit. That was actually quite the performance here from the French team. So job well done by them. And I got myself some reinforcements for game number 2. So, well, we got Tim with us, who apparently also watched the first map, even though he wasn't in the lobby. But, yeah, you just woke up, right?
Yeah, just woke up about 30 minutes ago, but I'm here for you, man. Friendship and Nations Cup is what it's all about. Yeah, it felt like poor Thrall over there was having a very rough time, but it makes sense. There was Genji, Hager, and then Johanna, who went into a full cube build, making it hard for him to stack up. Just complete dominance from Team France. But Team Germany, man, they got the evil on their team, so I could see them turn this around and really set up Brax's holdout.
I know this was the only reason why you actually want to cast a series with me, because we realized that evil was on their side.
Yeah.
Did you, by the way, see that he went into Discord after we casted their first game, and he's like, what the hell happened with my nickname? What is going on here? I just rewatched the VOD, and I'm not quite sure what's happening.
You choose a name like that, man, someone's gonna give some pronunciation behind it, and that's what we did as casters. You are now known as the evil for the rest of your life, and you must wear it as a badge of pride.
I think he'll hear that, yeah. But yeah, they're going to Brexis, so the 10 heroes that were played on the last map cannot be played again. Brexis holdout is not a map that I expected, but I gotta say, we have for the group stage, we have generally for the tournament right now, basically a rule where teams cannot ban maps. So we just deleted the map bans. So all of the maps that are in the map pool are viable, and teams can pick. We talked to a lot of the players before. They thought that would be interesting too. Most of them like it, some didn't, but we decided to run the tournament this way. So you can technically, as a team, now look for one of the maps that is less played, try and get, you know, specialize a little bit on that map, for example, and then try and pick it and force it through. So it's much easier to prepare certain strategies for certain maps now, since you are guaranteed that you can pick them at some point. Maybe that's what's going on here. That said, it's actually the map choice of the French. So Germany decided they want to first pick, first ban, and the French, they went for Braxis, so we'll see.
Well, they already got a plan, obviously, if you're looking at the picks themselves. We have Misha, who is a top contender on maps like this in Dragonshire, right? Being able to control a beacon while also microing in the minion wave is a fantastic strength. And then you have Sylvanas to really bolster out the Braxis Zerg push. And oh my gosh, Mr. Kaldor, we are going to be getting a grouped up team composition for Team Germany, as we have Garrosh, Zarya, and then Ariel rounding out the first three picks.
Let's face it, the second you see Garrosh as your first pick, you're already thinking Zarya on this map. Immediately. True. It's a 1-4 split. That bot lane is strong, but that they also come in with Oriel immediately, I mean, that is going to be quite the bot lane that they're running here.
Smart ban.
And that's a very good ban. Germans with tanks, I mean, historically not really the best move. So the French coming in with some bad memories here, and they're like, you know what, how about we're getting rid of, no, jokes aside, if you see that lineup with that sustain, you don't want to give them Sergeant Hammer. That's gonna be a little bit too much.
Yeah, and the good news with the pickup of Ariel and Zarya, there are still a couple of other options. I think Sergeant Hammer is probably one of the better ones, especially in Braxis Holdout. There's only 2 lanes, so you don't have to rotate around a lot. But we can also get a Zul'jin, we can get a Vala as well. It's all a matter of what exactly they want to move into. There are more options for the Germans. Braxis Holdout, though, is a map about wave clear and hard engage, and that is already coming in spades here. Bit of a combo with Masquerade playing a Nubrak, and then Stukov to follow it up with that silence and that lurking arm.
Yeah, they can definitely now dive on whoever the target is there and then follow it up with that lurking arm. As you said, they need a bit more burst damage, maybe, but this is already a nice lineup for them too. I'm curious though what the Germans put in as the damage dealer. And I would also like, I mean, we need more wave clear, right?
Yeah.
So they go Cassia first.
Oh.
He'll need a side laner, so Cassia is going to be their main damage, and we get Deathwing as well for the evil.
That's right, the evil on Deathwing, the ultimate evil. You know, he might not be enjoying his nicknaming right now, but he's not doing himself any favors picking up Deathwing over here, the World Breaker himself. But Deathwing makes a lot of sense. When they actually do get to team compositions where they're actually fighting in the area, Deathwing can be in the front, he can absorb a lot of firepower, can't be CC'd, and Cassia will be free reign to be able to really run that back line. They're going to have to really be careful, though, because if Sylvanas can open up this map early, it's going to be rough. And oh my gosh, a Zagara to run the top lane. Being able to drop that Hydra on top of the... No?
She is bot lane.
Oh,
Zagara is quite... Yeah, she's still really popular on Dragonshire and also on Braxis here.
Ooh.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be enough. Guys, we're going to jump into map number 2 now. We're going to Braxis, Team Germany against Team France. Alright. Not following Pot's patch for a while as these all meta champs. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, there's also the element too where throughout these drafts, if a character is picked in a round, they will not be available for the next round. So all the characters you saw in game number 1 cannot be picked for them. So you kind of get this weird extra meta that gets like deeper as we play throughout the series.
Also, keep in mind that this is still the group stage. So it's very, very early in the tournament. There are strong teams going up against each other like here, but this is not like, you know, finals or something. So yeah, let's see how this is going to work out. If Germany can bring that back, or if it's going to be a 2-0 victory for the blue team.
You know what I miss from our HCC days? Cough buttons. Oh my god, those were nice.
yeah, the tech setup was definitely quite
nice.
strong. The blue team, the Frenchies, over on the left with the lead in this best-of-3 series as we are heading into Braxis Holdout. We got the Quasar on Rexa. Sylvanas played by GWO, Banana H on Stukov for game number 2, Yasu on Zagara, and Masquerade is playing an Uberak.
And for our red team, Shock on Ariel, the Evil on Deathwing. We have, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say this name. Tio on Zarya, Dexon on Garrosh, and Sereni on Cassia. How do you say that one for Zarya?
Theoden?
Theoden. Okay, yeah. You said it so easily, it makes me sound stupid. Theoden?
You just read the name, dude.
Those are weird letters that are combined, okay? We do have a bit of a switch up here. 4-man on the top lane looking to put some pressure here while Rexar will have to try and hold that bottom lane. Deathwing dropping down the flame immediately, and we got a match on our hands.
Actually, a little bit surprised that you struggle with that. When we have the Polish teams coming in with some crazy names,
oh, yeah.
I absolutely understand that you're struggling. But that one is fairly straightforward.
I'm going to struggle with the Polish, don't worry. Oh my gosh, just a complete rundown here on our lanes. Towers already being cleaned up, going straight in for the fort as they put some decent damage on top of them. Who is winning this race so far? If I were to put the smart money on it, I would assume the Sylvanas composition would be doing more damage. It looks like it just barely, as this fort here in the bottom lane is down to half HP. Misha steps up, gets hit by the bear, put into the wall, and that fort has not been cleaned up. Meanwhile, in the top lane, that fort is being pushed straight to the keep already.
They gotta defend, obviously, but it will be a fort for a fort. Now, the French team is getting more out of this because they can push for the keep wall, but we already see the red team moving back. So, with forts with them basically just racing structures down this quickly, it essentially means you're accelerating the game.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. You get more passive experience gains right now. We have a little bit more wiggle room on lane. Your opponent can't retreat to a fort and the fountain on that lane any longer. So they're accelerating the game here, and both of the teams were totally fine with it. Sylvanas, Zagara on one side with enormous amount of pressure, and then this just insane 4-man that we're getting for the red team at the bottom of the map. So now that the objective is up and each team has a beacon, it's gonna get spicy.
Yeah, it is spicy already. I mean, we had the forts down before level 3 even came in. That is a very rare occurrence in Heroes of the Storm. This game has been out for over 10 years, and I think I've seen it maybe a handful of times. The only time it can really come to mind is back when we had the McDonald's composition from Fnatic back in the day with the Chin Ariel comp. Yeah, those were good times. But 4 is about to connect for our teams, and we're going to start to see the game slow down a little bit in terms of control for these beacon progress, as it's all about the mercenary camps. Also, you got to take over the microphone. I forgot to close my window, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm yelling. So be right back.
Yeah, no problem. And as he's going for the window, they're going for the kill. Garrosh goes down, and that is first blood. So once again, the French able to get the quick double hit in here. I mean, great job for the French, honestly, that they are able to get themselves a kill and also some progress on the beacon. They were able to now go straight in and get that topside beacon, but it's been an exchange. 30% for the blue team, and they are now crushing that bot lane. Zagara plus Sylvanas is really starting to become a bit of a problem. The Germans thought that they had the big sustain and pressure comp that would siege up on lane, but now instead we're seeing essentially the French doing that. And Sylvanas has an absurd amount of stacks, considering that we're only 3 minutes into the game. 150 stacks already. That is just nasty.
That is pretty good, and for those that are wondering, you want to get the 250 for that Black Arrow's damage be brought up by 50%, and then 400 times to get a little bit more with the healing as well. So they are clearly on their way, as they're a quarter of the way to that final goal. Misha going to be picked up on the top lane here, and beacon progress begins 30% to 8% right now. And really, it comes down to who is going to walk away with this bigger Zerg wave. If Sylvanas' crew is going to be able to do so, they will be pushing that bottom wave and hoping to open the fort. And once that map gets opened up, suddenly boss plays are on the field, and things are really starting to heat up as Stukov is going to be deleted here by Team Germany.
The Germans, they just can't push against, well, they can't go into a push battle against the blue team. But in a sustain fight, it's going to get really interesting, especially, of course, with Zarya, sorry, not Zarya, but Cassia, also supplying that extra blind that they have here that helps them with mitigating some of the damage. It's going to be interesting as the game continues, especially as level 10 abilities come in. We're now 4 minutes into the game, and it's honestly wild how just crazy it is. You look at the minimap, and both of the teams are all over the place here, trying to steal beacons, trying to go for structures. the French are playing a little bit of Red Dota where they're trying to push a lane while occupying the rest of the German team so that they can't go for proper defense. You see it top lane right now.
Yeah.
Zagara, Sylvanas, they're again trying to take structures down.
Yeah, you were talking about this. The composition for Team Germany is already wanting to be tight and grouped up, but they have to keep an eye on Sylvanas. If he ever disappears and they have a moment to themselves, they're going to open up a portion of the map. And you already saw the wall being deleted up in the top right corner. And with that beacon under full control, Masquerade's doing a great job of denying anyone from rotating over. There's nothing Team Germany can really do except run it down at their opponents. And they do find an engage here on Stukov. Banana H getting a couple hits on top of him. In fact, poor Garrosh is maybe regretting that idea as he walks away with a sliver of HP.
He actually turned around for a second and thought that he could maybe get a connect, but that didn't work, so he kept himself alive and moved back out. But it's now 30% on each side for the beacon progress, and with the keep losing hit points, that's definitely a concern. You can see what the French are trying to do here, but it also seems a little bit that they're not willing to engage into prolonged proper team fights.
Yeah.
For the reasons we outlined earlier. So it's going to be interesting if they can just control the macro game throughout this entire match. Sylvanas is benefiting from this on more than only one level. She has a crazy amount of stacks and just keeps increasing this. It's definitely in the cards that we're going to see the pinnacle reward for her completed, depending on how long the game goes.
Well, Garrosh has an idea of where exactly Sylvanas is. That's been his job right now as Dexon scouts him on the bottom right. And then, of course, Deathwing is going to rotate over here and attempt to start grabbing this beacon on the bottom. And he does grab it. And this is why you pick Deathwing here, so he can't be CC'd. He can potentially escape, but it's too much damage too quickly. And the Evil is now the dead as he gets picked off by Team France.
The evil dragon goes down. Yeah, but still, it gave them another 30%. Would, of course, have been really nice for them if they would have been able to save him. But it's now the blue team that has the double control. And that's a bigger problem because there's only 4 on the map. Deathwing is now coming back. But there's a lot of progress ticking in for Team France. They're now at 64% themselves, just as we have Dexan on Garrosh retake control over the bot lane. But the topside pressure, there it is again. Deathwing is dropping in, is trying to stop the minion wave here and burn that down. The problem is that the French don't even care. They come in with Yasuo and Nequaza, and they're just trying to strike structures down. It's all that they're trying to do here. Get ahead by dropping forts and keeps.
They have 2 of the deadliest species in all of Earth, Zerg and bears. And those bears and Zerg are pushing the top lane and working on that keep. And that's actually a really good point. They're going to have 2 options here. Ooh, Ariel getting tossed here. He's going to be able to go around with the whip, saving her teammate here, but Dexon might not be so lucky. He already used his heal here. Needs Ariel to burn around and give him a circle of life, and he does. Dexon continues to get away, and looks like he'll be just fine. In fact, with a giant dragon rotating in, they take out Rexar, and somehow, some way, Team Germany is able to turn that fight into their favor and grab the beacon. What an electric game number 2 for us in this series.
It's awesome. I mean, we're just now hitting level 10, and there's so many things to talk about. The way that the French rotated to make that attack happen and create a numbers advantage as they went for this fight was awesome. And then Germany, they were in danger the entire time of losing 1 or 2 of their heroes, and somehow kept them alive, brought in Cassia, brought in Deathwing, and the second that it was a proper 5 versus fight, they were able to turn the tables, take down Rexa, and bring it. But the macro game that we're getting from the French is awesome. I absolutely love it. Now, though, there's the hit against Garrosh, and he goes down just as they're trying to push with the Zerg wave. They're gonna get the fort here. They have the boss pushing through the top lane, too. Stukov dies, and this is just a crazy second game between the teams.
Yeah, you have to wonder, without Garrosh, do they want to continue pushing forward here? And I would argue for it. They have large health bars with the boss as well, with the Guardian sieging away. All they have to do is make sure to play around this boss, and of course, it's a giant ability spell here. As you can see, it just shells away damage. If they could at least equalize what they have in the top lane. Oh my gosh, a huge Graviton Surge coming off, getting 3 people there to follow up, but with Ariel being locked down in the back right corner, Serena's going to go ahead and back away and keep her alive instead, but still the push continues.
And they have that boss still at 30% of its HP. They will get damage in on that keep. If they can take it down or not, that's a very different question, but they're gonna try. Keep in mind that at the bot lane, the French team also took out a fort, so technically it's more of a trade than anything else.
Yeah.
If they can keep those Guardians in the back alive and maybe eliminate the keep, that would be amazing for them, but it seems that Germany will have to back off. They have now 4 kills against 3. They slightly pulled ahead inexperience, and only 10 minutes in the game, and we already have all of the forts removed from the map. It's a crazy second game.
Yeah, it sure is. And this is a situation that it feels like Team Germany wants to be in. They want these 5v5 fights, and there's going to be a Garrosh engaged into a Dragon Flying Fort. He goes for the Massive Fear. Heals need to be coming out from Ario, and they do land them on 2 targets. Zagara and a Nubarak have been picked off, and Team Germany now buys themselves at least a little bit of breathing room for the next 20 seconds. They'll grab some mercenary camps and start to continue sieging down this top keep, and they're hoping to get it a little bit lower and maybe even take it away.
This was really well done. That Valkyrie that we got from Sereni that just connected with Zagara so well, allowed them to get a kill. Now they can siege up at the top lane a bit more. These team fights are going pretty okay for them, and now that leading experience is going to translate into a level 13 advantage in just a few moments. They're obviously also waiting for the next objective. For the French, it gets a bit more tricky. They dominated the macro game with really smart rotations that were just fantastic, but now that they are basically forced to react to the Germans, and they don't like this at all. Their playstyle was designed to make the Germans react to them and then out-rotate them, outplay them. That worked well for a long time, but now that we have momentum for the red team, this is going to be tricky to break through for the French team.
There is always good news for them, though. They do always have that Sylvanas factor. In fact, let's go ahead and check in real quick and see where exactly their Black Arrow stats are. 295, so they have hit that 250 threshold, looking for that 400 up pretty soon. So if they can win the next Zerg wave, I can see them pushing forward and winning the game. In fact, I would argue that we're at a point where we're so neck and neck, whoever gets the bigger Zerg wave next round may be able to pull off the victory, and I would probably lean a little bit more towards the Sylvanas composition. But I'm liking the aggression from Team Germany. After their rough early game where it felt like they didn't have much breathing room, you're starting to really see them control the middle of the map. They're stopping the Zerg creep from coming out from Zagara. They're making sure Sylvanas is stuck in her base, so they can't really have to deal with any of the keep pressure she can put on.
And now that we're having the next beacon up, this is where it gets really interesting, because maybe the French are able to rotate around them now. They're certainly going to try, but the beacon progress initially goes to the Germans, so they're already getting a small advantage. But yeah, the French, they are going to have to fight eventually, so they're going to try and create a situation that is advantageous to them. Deathwing, yeah, they come in, maybe they can take out Misha here, but that's the best that they can hope for. And of course the control of the beacon, which gives an even bigger progress now.
Evil over the corner here, wanting to fly in. Here he comes. Worldbreaker jumps right on top of Yasu, puts down that flame. Gonna have the rest of his teammates show up afterwards. Garrosh would love to lead the charge, but a beautiful Nubarak getting that impale, knocking them back here. And poor Garrosh is getting low and lower in HP. Able to get out his unstoppable, but here's a Devouring Model, lockdown too.
And immediately stunned, double stun for Nubarak. Oh, low, and Cassia gets destroyed. There's the kill. The French were waiting for it, and they finally grabbed it. They get the kill, but the Zerg wave goes to the Germans. They lose they lose Deathwing, they lose Zarya, they lose 3 in total. It's 6 kills to 6, but the Zerg wave at the bottom of the map needs to be stopped by the French.
Yeah.
So the Germans might have lost the battle, but they at least got into a position where the French won't be able to exploit it.
Yeah, the French team actually, for a second there, they started to mount up and run to the top right corner, and like, you know what, that's 100% Zerg wave. Maybe we don't leave that bad boy alone. So a heads-up play for Team Germany going for the full 100% beacon, and that will buy them another fight for the next round. Holy crap, Caldor! Thank you for the invitation to the Nations Cup. This has been an insane game to watch.
Group B has been awesome. I mean, honestly, all the games that we got here were crazy. It's very different also from what happened on the first map, which was absolutely dominated by the French. They took control and then ran with the momentum. Now, though, it is a leading experience for the blue team that could give them the level 16 advantage at a crucial time. There's a boss up on the map, and we'll see how they're going to play it. And the Germans just come in and in vision say, you know what, we want these fights. We want this battle before you hit 16, so we're just going to try and bait you into it.
Yeah, and at the same time, Team France probably just wants to slow this fight down. They want to hit that level 16, and slowly that experience is trickling in. One thing the red team has to be aware of, though, is there's a catapult on the top lane going in for that keep. Here's a mind control trying to lock down Garrosh. Evil comes in with the corner, goes straight for the Worldbreaker, gets back on top of Sylvanas, but she's able to haunting wave away. And Masquerade able to burrow charge the last second, and the boss is actually grabbed. Team Germany gets it. It will now start pushing down the bottom lane, but they need to defend. Look at that top lane in the top right corner. There's a massive minion wave pushing on both the bottom keep and the top keep. They gotta clear it out.
Yes, they definitely need to go there, but it's just amazing that they went and grabbed that boss. That was actually really important, because the blue team would have most likely made a play for it after they hit the level 16 talents, but this keep at the top is about to go down, and they barely save it. But
1,000 HP.
It gives a free defense at the bottom of the map to the French. So that boss cost them time, but not any actual damage on structures.
Okay, for the first time in 15 minutes in this game, we get a slight break on this constant fighting that has been occurring as both teams are going to start setting up for those mercenary camps. Now, we will be having the beacon progress spawn up right now, so in 30 seconds, we're back to the full chaos. Top lane is going to be a real major thorn in the side for Team Germany. That keep is down to 1,000 HP, and if Sylvanas or God, even a Nubrak is able to get over there and drop down a couple of beetles, that thing is going to fall over quickly. So you're seeing them position, ready for a fight at a moment's notice if they see anyone stepping up for it.
And they're already trying to control that choke point with Stukov. They're zoning them away, force them to rotate around it, and that's the end of the keep. Nicely done. Stukov with the control over here in that bush, gets the lurking arm there, and then once that's the case, the Germans are just not willing to move into it because they know it might instantly take the entire team out or whoever gets caught there. So they fall back, and that means that their own core is now exposed. And that's a huge problem for the top lane. So we'll see how they deal with it. For now, it's a beacon on each side. But since Cassia still has to defend, the blue team has the numbers advantage at the bottom of the map and is using it.
Yep, the Evil saw that Sylvanas had to go to the bottom lane to clear out that massive wave that was coming forward, that mercenary camp, so he go ahead and lands on the bottom. It's the only beacon he could move towards because he had vision. Oriole gets engaged on, she's going to drop her Aegis to stay alive, and Cassia's trying to rotate over, but sadly, with Oriole getting fully engaged on, Team Germany couldn't get all 5 minutes or members here. And now Garrosh going to be the next focus. Oriole taking some decent damage, and Nubrak continuing with the burrow charge into an impale, and there is a second pick. Oh no, this might be game over, Caldor. If they can find another pick here, Dexon trying to escape. Theoden trying to get out as well, and he will, but that's 3 members down. 60% of the team has been deleted, and there's a Devouring Maw for more!
And they're going for the full kill, and they pull it off. It's a 5-man team wipe as the French are on their way to victory. Extremely well played, specifically on the macro side. A fantastic game by the blue team. So well executed here on Braxis, and it seems like they're going to win the series with a 2-0.
Yeah, the Evil tries to stop it, but it's not going to go well for him. That core begins to fall down to 40, down to 30, 20%, up to 10, and ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a 2-0 for Team France.
Nicely done. GG, and well played. So, yeah, job well done. I mean, honestly, that was a really nice execution from the French team. It looked like we would go for a third map, but not quite. Now we got UK 1 against Sweden 3 is our next series.
UK 1 versus Sweden 3. Ooh la la.
The remaining 2 teams in the group, like both of them haven't won yet, but both of them also only played a single match.
Okay, good to know. All right. Chat, how we doing? Everyone vibing? Everyone having a good time? You're all following Caldor, right?
We got the combo chat going on right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
Got that combination. My chat should be waking up in like 5 minutes. I'm not usually live by now. Good morning, Rin. Hello. You gotta knock out your placements. I actually, if I play in Europe, it'll be when I'm at Caldor's house. When I am able to play on low ping, Europe is the most fun I have ever had in Heroes of the Storm. Everyone is willing to play different compositions. People talk smack, but they're like trying to win. I had so much fun the last time I was in Spain playing Heroes of the Storm.
You're gonna have much fun in the next one too, because we get Haunted Mines as our first map.
Ooh, wonderful. Heck yeah, dude.
I think it's gonna take a second until we're there, but yeah.
No worries, no worries. We chillaxing, we vibing. Morning, Bojangles. Hello, Scorbic. What up?
By the way, we can go for a different goal. You wanted to have like sub-goals and stuff, but we don't even have to go for this. Apparently, the tracker that I have for the campaign that we're running is live.
Ooh.
So we can actually do goals on that. We're at 74 right now, which is insanely low. Because
do you
all the people
need?
have to do is I mean, as high as
Forehand
possible
sock.
as usual, but all that people have to do is download a browser and watch the stream on the browser. It's ridiculous. Like, it's nothing. It's not like, a 5 GB game or anything. So you can come up with a goal and something that we need to do. You're much better on that than I am. But yeah, we don't have to go for subs here.
Chat, if you're a
Download the
Caldor
browser
fan,
and
what
watch
is
the
one thing that you wish Caldor would do? Do you want to see a nip slip? Do you
Don't
want to see
leave
him
it up to
flex?
them. That's not gonna go well.
No. You gotta understand. These are your HOTS fans that are here day in and day out. They're gonna know more what they want to see from your broadcast than I ever will, my dude. You know what I'm saying? My chat wants me to play People Island, but I don't want to play that, so I'm not gonna put that up ever. We want to see him grow hair? That's fucked up. That is rude. I can't believe you said that. That is illegal. I would be mad.
Wow. Oh boy.
Oh my god. A kiss cam? We could put our two webcams together and kind of like, fake a kiss. You down? Let me see your face
Excuse me?
on this. What?
No.
You wouldn't do a
Please
fake
do
kiss
your
for
mic.
subs.
Oh my god.
You would put my webcam right next to your webcam, and we would just kiss the air, but you would combine the two together. Fake a kiss.
Dude, I absolutely would. I totally would.
I would do it for
My
a heartbeat for
girlfriend is
you,
very
bud.
jealous.
I wouldn't do it. No, she wouldn't. She would be like, wow, that's kind of nice. And she'd be like, you want to hang out tonight? You think about it. You think about it. How many subs would that cost for that to make it happen? I'm going to be here next weekend too for a little bit. So, if we got to, we can extend the sub goal. It's not a big deal. I'm here for you, buddy. All right?
Sorry, I'm in orga mode. Okay, we have. I don't know where the Swedish are right now. Can you host?
Come
I'm
on.
about 5 minutes from home. Okay, that was like 15 minutes ago, so I assume that they're here right now.
We'll
But
be
yeah, we
here
need to get
soon.
you guys in. Okay. All right. Now we get that in. Okay, now I can actually take a look at this combo. I think it's already taken. Okay, and that. Is there anything else? Oh, now I have your thing, your invite. It has actually arrived.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it is working.
I'm just delayed
Apparently,
today.
it's just not as instant as I would have expected it to be.
It was just
So
lacking.
it's good to know.
Be like that sometimes. But it's good to know it's working. Hell yeah, dude. I think it's a cool little program. It's getting everyone together. Everyone kind of like crossing the streams. Ghostbuster wise. I have to kind of reserve my voice today. I'm casting all day, dude. I'm casting with you and I'm doing Deadlock after. I don't know how. I just suddenly this weekend just became casting life for me. I'm like you. Casting for content.
One player shot. And you're in, right? Yes, you're in.
I am in. I am here.
I got my boy Coffee back.
Yes, coffee. Do you light up every time you see him show up? Or are you just like, oof, latte?
We have some awesome games, honestly. Not games, names. On the Hanzuka is there again.
I knew what you meant.
I need to remember that when you are here, I have to get you some Hanutas.
Yes. Oh yeah. I was talking to some people that from Spain, and I was like, oh, I love the La Crementa there, and they're like, what's the La Crementa? And I was like, it's a coffee my friend gave me. It's like really yummy. It's got a cream in it, and they're like, that isn't a real thing. I was like, I must be saying it wrong. What is the name of it? Premiette. I'm surprised that wasn't like enough of a context clue for them to figure that out. They were like,
just go crema.
Crema.
Like crema, and then put an et at the end.
Crema-et. They were like,
Yeah.
we know about the bonbon. I was like, oh, I love the bonbon, but it's the other one, the crema-et. Crema-et. Okay. I'm gonna see them again during football, so I'll remind them. Crema-et.
Yeah, that's very, very typical Valencia region as well.
Yummy.
In the rest of Spain, I think it's more common to have carajillo, but I don't think that you can pronounce that, so
Yeah,
don't
I'm
even
not
try.
I'm not gonna remember that one. It took me like 3 days to learn how to speak the 2 words I learned in Thailand. Sawadee Kop, which is hello.
Okay.
and then Kapkuka, which is thank you, but it literally, like, I kept screwing it up. I was like, Kupaka. And then
No,
people
like there are some people that run around and they tell you Kremet and Karahio are essentially the same thing, and they're all lying to you.
They're
This is
all
not even
wrong?
remotely the same. Yes, like you can yeah, it's tthat's different. So
Literally when
I want to hear Tim try. Okay, so Tim, here you go, Karahio.
Kalahio. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That's horrible.
No, that was pretty good.
Okay, was great. Haunted Minds, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Group B, the Nations Cup. We're continuing. 28 teams signed up from 17 different countries. And now we have UK against Sweden. It's going to be a good one. Keep in mind, we got draft rules here. Every single hero can only be picked once within a series. And currently we have 7 groups with 4 teams each. The first seed out of every group after we finish the round robin within a group advances directly to the next round of the tournament. That obviously then advances 7 teams in total. And the 8th team is being determined as we're looking at all of the second place teams in the groups, and we're going to let them play it out in the last chance qualifier for that final spot for the second round of the tournament. We got best of 3s in our hand right now, and the group so far has been absolutely awesome. And for this series, again not alone, once again casting with TrikSlyr.
Hi, what he said. I'm here, I'm hanging out. We're at Haunted Minds, which was the second map. I remember it fondly that I saw when I first played Heroes of the Storm. Can you guess what my first map was that I played?
First hollow.
Dragonshire against Mike Morheim himself. And I was a young Budley at the time, so I tried as hard as I possibly could. It was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Team getting all sweaty while trying to take Mike down.
And back then, you don't probably know this, but Vala, before the game was released, her passive was that, and on every 3 attacks, she actually did a ensnare on people. She put a net on them. So she was incredibly
I don't think
strong.
that was ever in a public build.
No, that was not in a public build. That was before the game released, and then of course it was like destroying everybody in real matches, so they got rid of it.
When they released Vala, that was the old school multi-shot days. Do you remember that? That build got nerfed very quickly as well.
Yeah, all the grenades.
I played nothing else.
It was very good.
Carpet half the screen with your multi-shots, like making them bigger and bigger, cooldown reduction and all. It was awesome, but yeah, they nerfed that into the ground very quickly.
Okay, well, into this draft, we can reminisce about old hero designs back in the day, if you guys would like. In fact, if Calder and I are supposed to do a podcast at some point, that'd be a fun topic. Yorella is the first pick for Haunted Minds. Great, I would think, in theory, for this map. Her being able to rotate that level 7 talent, giving her an instant mount would be fantastic for going up and down. And then Sylvanas and Malthael.
Yeah, like, again, Haunted Minds. We talked about this the last time that we had the map on. Again, Sylvanas is being picked, and I think it is Team Sweden that keeps picking the map. They picked now Haunted Minds for the 2nd time, and they're playing Sylvanas here. So Sylvanas is so good on Haunted Minds because you don't have to go into the mines. You can push at the top, and I am actually surprised that she doesn't get banned or locked in faster than that. I have to assume that the UK watched the game that Sweden played before, so they apparently are okay with it. They say, we can deal with this, and I guess we're going to find out.
Well, they do get Genji, and Genji is pretty darn good at deleting characters that are maybe by themselves attempting to push and whatnot, so perhaps that is going to be their answer for that. And it is Nano on top of Genji, and I feel like Nano is one of those characters that are people that every time I see this guy playing, he's usually popping off in some way or some form, so I'm assuming he will be playing well.
That is not Nano.
Not the Nano?
That is one of Nano's accounts, but that's not Nano. Nano is Spanish.
Oh my gosh. Well,
so they have, I think this is probably Taichesa. I'm not 100% certain on this, but they have usually this thing going on where I think someone at some point gave somebody an account. So they're playing with that. But yeah, that's a little bit confusing. But
to Blizzard jail! You cannot account
to Blizzard jail. Immediately. Cancelled. Right away. Unacceptable. How could they?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll see how this Nano does. I'll try and remember their authentic name when you introduce them later on. Rhaegar and Anubrak will be the 3rd and 4th pick up here on the far right. Looking at this composition right now, I'm feeling pretty good about our right team, as that is looking pretty standard. Sergeant Hammer and Anduin coming in for our 4th and 5th pickup.
So it's hammer time. They're trying to siege up on them as best as they can. And then over on the right side, I mean, we already have a dive with a Nubarak, and you just need somebody else to help you following that up. So we'll see how they're going to make that work. But right now, this is going to still get pretty interesting here. Because, I mean, just looking at this, you could really especially with Chromie now. You can really control Sergeant Hammer here. So this is going to be an interesting one. Again, best of 3 series. This is a really close group. We had some insane games here. So far, Team France is probably doing the best out of all of the teams in Group B, but even they are not guaranteed yet to get out of it. So let's see how Sweden and UK are going to fare here on our first map of the series, ladies and gentlemen. Haunted Mines, let's go. Yeah, I just checked. It's Taichesa.
Taichesa!
Oh.
Bro, I don't know if I hit old age, but I just have random injuries on my fingers now. There's like little like spots where I like hit it on something. And I just realized I have a third one that's bleeding. How'd that happen? I'm just casting.
Old man Tim.
Yeah, I need better skin.
You have a better nickname for him now. It's not Nano. Yeah, I guess. Team UK in blue on the left side of our first game in the best of 3 series with Cascan on Tyrael. We got Coffee on Sergeant Hammer with the advanced artillery. Devs is playing Anduin, and then we got Taichesa playing on the account Nano with Genji, also known apparently as not Nano, and Vented Sun on the GOAT playing Urel.
On the far right, our red team, Mr. Tycho playing Sylvanas, Hanzuka, a favorite name by Mr. Caldor, is playing Rhaegar, Time Bullet on a Nubarak, who is on Chromie, and Starzerg playing Malfuel.
We need those Hanutas. I actually haven't had Hanutas in a long time because it's more of a children's thing. At least, like, that's what I had, you know, when I was a kid. But when you visit me the next time in Spain, I will make sure to get some Hanutas. Not only to show them to you, but also because it's a fantastic excuse for me to get some. So it's going to be a win-win right there.
I like that you use me as an excuse for children-like behavior. Nice. Thank you, Caldor. Appreciate it.
I just need an excuse to get, like, a bit more chocolate.
I'm down,
right now,
bro.
I'm in full training mode right now, getting ready for races. So every single time that I get weak and I buy myself some chocolate, I feel bad afterwards. And I'm like, yes, I didn't have the time to do it, but I just have to.
I will be that. Oh, hang on here. Mr. Tycho are taking that pressure from not Nano right now as he's trying to get on top of that. Sylvanas takes a decent beating, gets low on HP, but so does Time Bullet, and actually, poor Nubarak gets taken down as we're going to have our first kill of the game.
Yeah, Sweden is losing Nubarak and therefore first blood for UK. Quick reminder as well, if you're just now tuning in for the first time into the Nations Cup, that the numbers behind the teams indicate essentially 2 things. First of all, wait a second. Seems like, yep, Tyrael goes down. There's the counter kill. So first of all, the number behind the team indicates that we have multiple teams signed up for their specific country. For Sweden, for example, we have 3 teams participating here, and the number also indicates the seed. So the UK team is, at least on paper, the strongest team from the UK, whereas from the 3 Swedish teams that signed up, this is kind of the weakest team, at least when you're just looking at the players themselves. And the way those seedings have been put together is that we actually asked the players, all these teams obviously scrimming, practicing, training, and we asked the players how they would rate certain teams, and that essentially then formed the seeding, influenced it heavily. So there can still be a lot of upsets. We could see Sweden 2 or Sweden 3 outperforming Sweden 1. That could easily happen here, but just so you guys know how those numbers come to pass, what they actually signify, just to have a bit of an idea here. As we are having a quick pause, very early on.
We have a kitchen hazard going on. What? A kitchen hazard? You can't just type that. What kind of kitchen hazard? Are the knives walking around? Are they talking to people? Is there a fire? Did the SpaghettiOs explode?
I mean, to me, that sounds just that somebody forgot their pizza in the oven.
Oh god.
that would be a kitchen hazard.
That
to
would
me.
be a kitchen hazard. Yeah, I do agree. You smell burnt and you're like, no, not my cheese.
Like, no.
Well, while this is
You
happening,
went for pepperoni pizza. All of the pepperoni are black now, and it's just like, damn.
yeah, that's I do not like a burnt pizza, man. Like the one I like a nice crispy one where it's just like starting to brown, but if you have any black on top of your pizza, man, I'm out. I do not like that flavor in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully all is well for that
I
kitchen
hope so
hazard.
too. This is actually a good moment. Also, as a reminder, guys, we still have our hot butter through cheese merch, so you can check out the link in the description to have a look there. And why this vibes so well with the kitchen hazard is we have an apron. Did you actually know that? We have a hot butter through cheese apron that we put in as a joke. Rob actually insisted on making that a thing, and all of a sudden it becomes one of the best sellers in the merch store. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you have a hot butter through cheese apron, no kitchen hazards for you.
I
Just
saw
saying,
that.
guys. If you haven't checked the shop out yet, definitely do so. There's a link in the description.
It's a good idea, honestly. Having an apron that has that saying on it is like so perfect
is
for the
speechless.
kitchen. And then I can tell everyone about my friend
He's
Caldor.
just sitting there. He's just like, wow, they got an apron. That's insane.
Aprons are where it's at, man, okay? All right? Cool. Awesome. Good to hear. I would be getting one of those aprons for sure, and I bet it would look good on anyone in the chat, so pick one up.
Dude, Rob is happy every single time that he sees somebody has gotten an apron.
Yeah.
it's like you're playing a hero with a quest reward and things. Every time he gets a thing, he's like, look, I told you, it's awesome.
Well, speaking of dings, we're going to see another pick as both Sylvanas and Rhaegar go down. And for those of you that are wondering, how do I deal with a Sylvanas? This is one of the ways to do it. You get a Genji, you get some kind of fast character, and you jump on them consistently and put pressure on them and force the entire team to turn around and keep her alive. And so far, the UK team, #1 seed, is doing a fantastic job of doing just that. And with the, oh god, skulls being available, I almost said seeds, for the bottom portion of the Hana Mines being available, they are going straight for them and starting to collect.
The one thing really about the UK team is also that they had a fantastic series against the French, who are right now in the top spot of Group B. So they seem to be very, very strong here. The Swedish team had a great showing against the Germans previously, even though they lost the series. But right now, this is going to be a fierce battle. Hanzuka, though, gets eliminated, and that's the 4th kill now for Team UK. They follow it up with another one against Sylvanas and are just chasing the meatballs towards the right side of the map, back towards the fort. That's a great showing for the team from Great Britain.
Man, both times that I have seen Genji in matches, there was a game earlier where Germany had Genji, and now we have him again here for Team UK. And it looks like just the amount of CC is not here to lock him down. Commonly in the past, we would see characters like double support. You would see like an Uther or whatnot. Those point-and-click stunts can be fantastic. A Nubrak is going to be an option later on at level 10, but I don't know if they're going to be in a solid spot for that, because right now, Team UK is just running with the game right now as TrikSlyr is trying to walk away. Coffee is chasing him down on Hammer. I don't know if he'll be able to get to him here. Here we go. Cask on, might have the Druin, turret goes in, and there is going to be the pick.
I like the optimism, though, and I like that he's trying. He didn't give up. He just went with it. The one thing that I find interesting, though, is like, you look at the draft, and the first thing that we thought about is like, okay, how are they going to deal with Hammer? And you expect the blue team to play a more static game, you know, sieging up, going in with Hammer, as they do right now. But they played such a great game, even before Sergeant Hammer had access to a level 7 and could use the Hover Siege mode, that I think Sweden was caught off guard here.
Yeah.
They were thinking that they are the ones, you know, unleashing Chromie, getting the damage in, the poke, and instead, the UK just moved in and forced them into team fights, and they're losing one after another. It's 9 kills to 1.
I think Sweden's been very surprised about Caston here playing on Tyrael. Tyrael, while he is a tank, he's actually more of a bruiser slash upfront damage. A Druin straight into a smite does a lot of damage, and having Genji follow that up has been paying off in dividends so far. And now, at 6 minutes here, this fort is down to half HP already. TrikSlyr did run down to the bottom portion and grabbed as many skulls as they could, but with that boss speed available and 10 about to connect for Team UK, I could see them running down there, grabbing that boss, and starting a major march down the lanes.
If they are now going for the boss, then they can still get the superior number. Sweden has locked in 44, so this is already pretty decent for them. But as you already pointed out, forts have lost hit points, and a lot of them. Not only at the bot lane, but also at the top of the map. Now we have level 10, and just look at that gap in experience. It's ridiculous. It's more than 2 levels, and we're only 6.5 minutes in. So now we're talking about Judgment with a follow-up on X-Strike, for example. The BFG as an added damage source, too. They can snipe heroes easily at this point.
Yeah, Rhaegar's going to have to really lock in and make sure he's landing those cleanses available to him. Malthael at the same time is probably going to be a level 13 talent to make sure that he can get his cleanse, to watch out for this firepower coming in. But you're right now, that talent advantage is going to really be a major pain in the rear. And this aggression does not stop. Already we have Yrel leading the charge, chasing down this Malthael. There's a light bomb. Cleanse comes out just in time from Hanzuka. Well done. Temporal coming out. It's going to be a focus on the target, and Genji is going to be able to walk away. But now the blue team should be able to rotate down to the bottom lane with a few of these abilities being used, clear out that wave, and look to push these lanes once again.
They were really trying to force that kill too, so that backfired a little bit. You have to be careful. I mean, you have a huge advantage, but if you're too aggressive and you're risking too much, then it might backfire. Because every single kill that the red team now gets gives them a huge chunk of experience because of that underdog bonus that we have in the game. But they will soon lock their own level 10, and we already have access to it through Chromie, of course, but now the forts will soon fall. It's just interesting to me that the blue team never really made any moves to try and go for the boss, so it seems that they are totally willing to ignore that for most of the time. And it now even leads the Swedish team to just move in and try and take it with Malthael alone. So he's going solo against the boss as the first fort has fallen.
It's so funny to watch Malthael in his form of combat, which is just not auto-attacking unless he has to replay his mark, kiting that boss. Here comes the Judgment. Immediate cleanse. Hanzuka has been on point. Light Bomb, though, straight on top of the Chromie. And Chromie will be picked off. She's down for 20. BFG, Mr. Tycho trying to haunting a wave. Can he get out? He certainly can. But Sergeant Hammer Siege is up and wants to start working on this wall.
They realized also that the UK just has no interest in that boss, at least not in the first one, so they don't care. They finally sent somebody down, trying to capitalize on TrikSlyr going solo against the boss. They want the kill here, and the golem can now be eliminated, and that will still be a fairly decent golem for the blue team too. But Sweden is struggling to get to level 10. They really are. This is such a huge gap that we had previously because all of the kills that the blue team got, that they had such a big window of opportunity here. And now, finally, the red team more or less on eye level since they're able to pick up their heroic abilities.
Yeah, this goes to really show on two-lane maps how important every single minion, every single merc camp is as you try to get up that experience level. Just the Team UK being able to grab this lead early has just paid off so darn much. Now, the Golems is 56-44 at the moment. Top fort will be the main focus for our blue team with that Golem pushing forward, and as long as they have Sylvanas here, they don't mind going for this trade on the fort. Meanwhile, Malthael setting up on the bottom lane. Here comes a Judgment into a Light Bomb. Ancestor healing on the target as well. Cocoon comes out on Genji to try and lock him down. Hanzuka trying to escape. Temporal Loop even being used at the same time. X-Strike comes out, giving him the unstoppable, and with the protected, he'll be able to dodge out on the damage coming in from Chromie. So a big trade in ultimates, and the Golem continues.
Yeah, they're looking really strong here. And with Sergeant Hammer coming in, they can, of course, technically siege up on this too. They decide against it. They got level 13 talents already. So the golem at the bottom of the map, that's still a pretty decent golem. The problem is, of course, it's an early game golem.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really have as much push power yet. It's not like we're 20, 25 minutes into the game. But the control of the map so far is in the hands of the blue team, for sure. But that's still a decent amount of damage for Team Sweden. That's more that they were able to do throughout the remainder of the game here.
13-11, still that 2-level lead here for Team UK, grabbing the Zappas so they can have them pushing in the bottom and the top side as well. Would like to see somebody hanging out with those minion waves just to make sure that they are maybe moving forward and open up that keep, because if you can get through the keep walls here, that golem just gets a little bit more dangerous. Now, with that all being said, Team Sweden, after a rough early game, I will give them commends of being able to get to that. Oh, hang on here, as there's going to be a light bomb. Genji jumps onto a target, and poor Malthael knew it was over. He just cleared out the wave instead. I was going to say, Team Sweden has been doing a solid job at least staying in the game despite their talent disadvantage, but they got to watch out for this combo that's coming in from Team UK. It is starting to get really deadly.
It's an absolute banger for them. I mean, they're sitting at 13 kills right now, so 13-1, and they are dishing out the pain. 27,000 damage from Genji is the top dog in the game thus far, with Sylvanas coming in second place on 25k, and then you have, of course, Sergeant Hammer, but they're just relentlessly pinning them down in their own base, sieging up here, and making it nearly impossible for the Swedish team to break out of this. 16 is one level away still, but the talent advantage is already there for the blue team. And they are, I mean, they're not letting them get out of their base, basically. They have the watchtower control here, they have heroes at the top lane, they control the bot lane with minions, and they're not allowing them to get anywhere, while they still have their own heroes looking for the next camp. And these little pushers on isolated heroes at the side. TrikSlyr died early at the top, now he gets caught at the bottom of the map. We have the Judgment engaged, and it's just too much for him to handle.
Sun trying to escape here, goes for the knockback, low on HP, and is gonna get picked off, and you know what that means, Caldor? It's time for a goat fat. Goats dislike water and would rather leap over streams and puddles than step in them, as we lost Urel.
Really?
Yeah, interesting, right? You would think it would be okay with water. They're not a fan of touching it, apparently. Don't like that wet fur.
Okay. Fair enough. Didn't know that.
Time Bullet's looking for a little bit more here. Gets healed at the last second. Hanzaka's able to keep him alive. Will they try to go for a burrow charge? Tyrael able to use the Eldruin to escape the entire fight. And with that kill, that experience is closing the gap. Technically, in terms of talents, they are even right now, but that 16 is lurking right around the corner for Team UK.
It's a race now. Just run, boys. They're trying to control. Oh, they're actually getting the mind control connected. But they can't get the kill. Genji is still able to get away as they're all jumping towards the top, but the red team is for once in the driver's seat. Everybody's low on the blue team side. They're trying to get a counter kill, and Rhaegar falls, but Genji gets also murdered a second ago. Typical Genji play. Doesn't care if he dies. It's just looking for the next kill.
Okay, so the 4 members for Sweden run to the bottom here, and Cascon just leaves the charge, jumps in with the Judgment. It looks like he's willing to die for his team right now, keeping up with the damage here. Worst case scenario, he gets a trait value, but they don't even need it. There's a smite, there's some auto attack. TrikSlyr tries to walk away and applies a couple of heals here, but with the Anduin's Light coming in, it's going to be just enough for them to find another pick. Now the golems are going to be starting to be built up as the skulls are grabbed here by TV Coffee and crew. Sylvanas, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and start working on the sappers. She wants to try and get that fort so they can have something, but everything is getting more dangerous as the timer continues to climb up. We're going to be about 14 minutes, and remember, when it comes to Heroes of the Storm, a lot of the objectives in the game do scale up with the amount of time that the game has gone forward in terms of health. So this will be a little bit more deadly compared to the one that we saw earlier.
It's actually a bit crazy that Tyrael survived throughout the entire attack there. Like, as you said, it looked for a moment like he's just okay dying, but nope, he made it all the way. And now they have their level 16 talent advantage. They're getting even more pressure in at the bottom. Yeah, Sweden is desperately looking for kills, even though they're at a talent disadvantage, but they can't find any right now. 53 skulls already in the hands of Team UK. Here comes the light bomb engage once again, the BFG! And Sylvanas is dead. Sylvanas goes down, and they're trying to chase the rest of the team. Malthael doesn't have a single kill with his last rights yet, by the way. They're just getting cleaned up here. At least they were able to take out Sergeant Hammer, so that is something. Malthael traded his life for a kill.
Yeah, it was a 1-for-2 trade, and honestly, when you're getting trades at this level, when you're this far behind, you'll take anything you can get. If they can get a level 16, they will have a chance to at least have a fair fight, but look at the bottom right now. On the boss, both Genji and Anduin are already working on clearing that bad boy out, building up those skull stacks, and they should be able to grab those just in time for Sergeant Hammer to spawn up, and we're going to see a pretty massive push from that golem in the bottom lane, looking to grab that keep. And the poor red team, they're going to have a small itty-bitty golem.
This is going to be a huge problem. It's not only the golem. You talked about scaling already a bit, but now we have a golem that will basically have 92% against 8%. The problem is you're going to have Sergeant Hammer pushing behind it. So it's going to be potentially even a death push from the blue team. The one glimmer of hope is that Sweden is finally on even talents again with their opponents, so they have level 16 talents. That's nice, but yeah, a kill would go a long way for them right now. If they're somehow able to jump onto a target, get a good isolation going, and a quick kill with last rights, that would help.
Nano already in position here for a possible dash into a light bomb. Anytime Genji shows up near Sweden, you're going to see them backing up. They have to wait for Genji to get the engage, and then Time Bullet with his web is going to have to nail the timing of his life. It is rough for him right now. 5
I have
in.
to point this out real quickly. This is not Nano. Call him not Nano.
Not
because
Nano,
Nano's
not
Spanish.
Nano,
He
not
can't
Nano.
play for that team.
Not Nano.
There's mind control, and Coffee! He's dead. They get the kill against Sarge now. That's so important to get that kill here. This is huge. They lose Sylvanas though. If they lose more, then it wasn't really worth it. But taking down Sergeant Hammer as they're attempting to stop that golem push, that's big.
Not Nano was able to find that Sylvanas, and here comes that Golem. It's going to start walloping on top of that keep. Stars are just trying to find any last rights here, protected, by the way, coming at the right time. And Devs also provides a heal, so he's going to be able to get away. And Not Nano, he's not done yet. He walks in, finds another pick. Time Bullet gets slammed into the wall, gets hit with the Anduin stun as well. Excuse me, Root. And that is going to be 2 members picked off here for the red team. Keep finally goes down, and the question is whether or not they can push in for the core. It is a little bit more difficult with them not having a Sergeant Hammer, but with Hanzuka having to retreat to base, they might find something here.
And there's also the top keep that is essentially getting destroyed by Siege Giants right now. The Golem still at 50%. The shield is falling. The hit points are going down. This is going to be victory in game number 1. The BFG cross map flies in. 21 kills to 5 as Team UK takes the lead in the best of 3 series.
GG. Hey Dracon, what's up YouTube?
Team UK, whew.
Hello Emperor, welcome guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Make sure you're liking and commenting if you're enjoying.
These guys are crushing it, good for them.
Yeah, oof. I don't think I've ever seen a Sergeant Hammer composition be that aggressive rotating in the early game. That was...
Right? Like, you would expect them to play this a little bit more static, and they just didn't. Yeah, they crushed it here. But, yeah, great job.
It's not Nano. I'm even getting used to that as well. And Patreon. Not Nano. Not Nano.
What was our first series? That was Germany against France, right? Yeah, and that was 2-0 for the French. Okay.
Correct.
Because I also got to update things over here.
Narc with the sub. Thanks for keeping your HOTS work up. Caldor the Saint. When's Blizzard going to reach out to you to cast at BlizzCon, huh? When's that happening? Who do we got to talk to?
Probably never.
That's some bullshit. That's what I say. Blech.
It is not Nano Yogstar. It's just one of the accounts that they're using. It's Taichessa that's playing. I've been playing that account for a long, long time. Okay. Alright guys, I'm gonna annoy you with this again. This thing over here actually tracks live. You can support the stream for free. Download simply the browser Opera GX with the command !support in the chat or in the panel in the description. Install that thing and watch the stream on it. Easiest thing in the world, costs you a minute. We are waiting for the next map to be set up anyway, so you have a little bit of time to do it. And this supports the stream completely for free. No subbing, no Patreon, no nothing. That's the easiest stuff that you can do. If you like tournaments like this, if you want us to host more, this is the way how we're making stuff like that possible. So if you haven't done it yet, do me a favor, use a second and do it. The link is in the chat already. You can use !support if you missed it somehow, and you can also use the panel in the description. But either way, it is super, super quick and very, very easy to do. Like, you basically don't need to do anything. Download, install, watch the stream on it. Done.
As an expert procrastinator, don't hold off, man. If you can do anything in life under 5 minutes, just do it. That's a rule that I've applied to myself in life, except for when it comes to the dishes, which I'm trying to get better about. But you can do it right now, man. A little easy support. Get in there. Drop it. Help them out.
And we are... wait, I actually waited for my maps in the wrong thing. Okay, so UK has to pick the map. Shrines. We're going to Shrines. Oops.
Chat, how we doing? We vibing, bro?
All right.
Everyone's chilling? 5-minute rule is goated. It's really helped me out a lot. Because I am such a procrastinator. When I'm done streaming, I don't want to do anything, bro. I just want to vibe.
If I find it...
Blizzard doesn't allow account sharing, so why is he even thinking placing someone account? My dude, you are getting way too serious about this. Relax, smile, have fun. Holy moly. Holy moly. It's not Nano. Just remember it. Chill. They don't even support their own game anymore, and you're like caring more than they do. Relax.
Exactly. You literally care more than they do right now.
You care more than they do, bro. Chill.
Lobby is up.
Is it a little
Okay,
annoying? Sure. I'm joining. But chill, bro.
Instructions unclear.
It's-
Sub by mistake. Thank you. Enjoy the ad-3 stream.
Maybe goats get sick too easily if they
Rosie,
get wet.
thank
Oh,
you very much
maybe.
for
Yeah.
the sub as well. We need the Swedes in here.
I'm reporting everyone for allowing this to happen. Please do.
Sorry, who what? Who did what?
Crypto. I'm reporting everyone for allowing this to happen in all caps.
The all caps thing. Yeah.
He's my resident troll. I love Crypto. He's a little man like me. He gets tired of bullshit.
Crypto, you can troll as much as you want. It's totally fine, but the bot is allergic to full caps lock messages.
Oh, did it auto?
It auto deleted the message. He didn't get timeout or anything. It just deletes like spam messages or what it perceives to be spam messages.
Wait, we have a really funny thing we could do here. We could have everyone type in all caps and have a bunch of messages deleted. That'd be sick. I really don't like this person, Caldor. You're gonna have to deal with him.
Dude, they're not doing account sharing. He just has that account. He's played on this account for ages. The players here know who he is. We know who he is.
Brother!
Untwist your knickers. Like, what is your problem?
Leave your basement and go outside. Relax. And touch some grass.
We all know who that guy is.
Press 7 if you don't care about this. Holy shit. I don't care. 7. No one cares. I wish
Just
I
to make
cared.
this clear, players actually have to confirm their identity to us for the Nations Cup. So we actually have either a passport, a national ID, or any kind of other confirmation. We know who these players are.
Oh my god. What in the autism, man? Holy moly, relax.
I mean, the thing is, he's been playing on this account, I think, for 2 years now.
Yeah, like, yeah, you clarified it, and I'm like, all right, cool, and we move on. Like, it's so easy.
It's not like we're seeing like both of them play on this one the entire time.
Jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute this person. I don't want to ever see them type again in my life.
It's not an excuse that he played. What matters is who owns the account. Dude, he owns the account! Like, how much more clear can I make this? He's literally the only one playing the account.
Amazing. Well, Infernal Shrines.
I'm really getting trolled here. Like,
Clearly.
I don't think that guy is real. That's just not a thing.
It can't be a real person.
Yeah, Rob is, by the way, the head admin, so take it up with Rob. He's in chat right now. You can argue with him. Rob, have fun, enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Infernal Shrines. Team UK is going up against Sweden. I can't do this. We can't go from me laughing about this.
I got you.
into
Welcome
me
everybody to
introducing the
game number 2 on our best of 3 series. We are on the map Infernal Shrines. We have Team UK taking on Sweden number 3, and Team UK was electric in game number 1. We saw a Sergeant Hammer composition that out-rotated a Sylvanas comp. It was wild to witness, and we're hoping they bring that energy into game number 2, and we'll have to see if whether or not Sweden, who is currently in trouble of potentially losing this series, if they can hold them back. Caldor, take it away.
Talking about energy, the reason why we actually had a bit of a laugh coming into this is because some of the people watching this have a lot of energy and are very enthusiastic about their opinion. So I make this clear again. Nano is not the Nano. He's not Nano, he's Taichesa. And he is, in fact, English and is playing for Team UK here. And yeah, he's been playing on this particular account for 2 years or more. So just for everybody, we are aware who that player is. Everybody knows who that player is. They are not breaking any rules, just to make this very clear.
We're all on the same page, boys.
Enthusiastic. I think that guy just had a little bit of OCD. That's the beauties of the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it must be Germans. There are rules and they need to be followed immediately.
There must be order. That was the funniest thing. When I first met Caldor or whatever, like we were having a discussion about something, and there was some rule that was off, and he just like instantly went into his German voice. It was like, "There must be order." And it's still like a memory in my mind. That like anytime he like speaks in German, I'm brought back to that moment years ago, dude. Good times. Caldor does have a sense of humor. He does.
Angie told me at some point, dude, if you are making any more jokes, you're not gonna go back home. The border's closed for you. We can't have that. A funny German, that is not okay.
Well, for game number 2, we do get our Johanna and Junkrat, a tried and true combination. In fact, I'm surprised we haven't been seeing it as much today, as the 2 brings a lot of wave clearing. You're going to need that on Infernal Shrines. Dahaka brings in the globalness that you do love. Ooh, and ooh, a Thymane showing up for our second pick with a Jaina to bolster. I don't see many Jainas nowadays. Is that a, because I don't play as much as I used to, or is because Jaina is someone that's actually pretty good? What's the analysis here, Caldor?
I think it's a preference pick, yeah. We see her occasionally, but usually like not that early, so yeah. But I'm looking at the portrait of Jojo and Junkrat, and I've never really noticed this. Does it look a little bit like the 2 are related? Junkrat could be the drug-addicted brother of Johanna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that, actually. Yeah. The
I'm
eyebrows
sure
don't match.
The nose or just the hair or the eyebrows, but
Yeah.
I looked at the 2 of them and I was like, huh, that's the black sheep of the family right there.
There it is. Okay, okay. Bradwing and I mean, every family's got one, right? You might as well.
Yeah.
You gotta accept them for who they are. They need love in their life. We all do. The Varian ban makes it a little bit harder for Jaina to follow up. Varian can be great for moving in for locking down a target if you want to try and delete a single target and have Jaina come in with the Blizzard into a combo, so that makes sense as a ban being taken away. Blaze! And Deckard
Jojo,
Kane.
Blaze, and Deckard, yeah, it's good stuff here too. I mean, Joanna and Blaze as a combo was always nice. This is Infernal Shrine, so the 2 of them work even better there. You have lots of AoE control on this. You have CC, slows that you can use. So this is a really nice lineup that UK is putting together for this map in particular. So good stuff by them. Sweden, I like the Haka. I think they have a lot of really good picks for themselves, preference picks. They're obviously the 3rd team from Sweden, but now we get Tigers and we get Leo, which essentially means that they're playing a Leo main tank, and that's honestly where it's over for me. At that point, I'm just like, nope.
What are we doing, boys? I'm curious. This might be a side tangent. I have not seen Diablo in the, 4 casts that I've done? Where's Diablo gone?
We get plenty of Diablo, honestly.
Okay, it's just been bad timing.
Yeah, like he's just missing Alarak as the final pick for Taichesa. And yeah, time to see what Sweden can do with this. This is going to get tricky for them, though. It's going to be really dicey. And if they lose here, that would mean they have 2 losses in the group. So that makes it very difficult to get out of the group, basically impossible. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting off to the races. Map number 2, Infernal Shrines between UK and Sweden. I'm not quite sure, like, we had this Leo, when was Leo main tank a thing? Was it 2 years ago, something like that? It was played for a while, and honestly, it never really knocked my socks off, so...
It can be instrumental against a lot of CC and high health bars, and there are a couple of them, to be fair. I do think Galarak makes it a little bit harder for Leo to be effective. Like, if he gets silenced, suddenly he can just kind of get blown up. But, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Rob just said that the apron is now the top merch item in the shop. That can't be right.
People love aprons,
Higher
dude.
than anything else? There's no fucking way.
Aprons are, like, the fun merchandise, right? Like, you're not going to wear an apron to a public outing, but you're going to wear it in the comfort of your own home, like, where you enjoy having fun, you know what I'm saying? It makes
the
sense.
Thing is, it looks great, but I never really expect that anybody would get an apron.
Hell yeah, dude. Aprons are sick. You should sell aprons for the rest of your life. Just put your face on an apron. You could sell it. Just take a picture with your t-shirt off, right? And it covers your nips, and then you're just like, buy this merch, and you're smiling into a camera. Like, I would buy that.
Rob moved it at the top of the store. That's why.
Oh, I see.
That is cheating. That's just cheating.
I see.
Oh, God. Rob should be proud of his UK boys here. They're doing really well in that group.
Well, we'll see if they can get it 2-0, man.
UK against Germany is going to be wild. And we're off. Map number 2, everybody. Infernal Shrines. UK is in the lead. Over on the left side, we got Cascon on Johanna. Coffee on Junkrat. We got Vented Sun on Blaze. Taichessa, also known as Not Nano, is playing Alarak and goes into the extended Lightning on level 1. Always my favorite build. We get a lot of dings over here. And then we got Defsh on Deckard Kane.
To the far right of the red, Mr. Taiko on Tychus, Time Bull on Leoric playing a main tank Leoric, it looks like. Hanzuku on white main. Hanzuka? Why can I say this all of a sudden? Starzerg on Dahaka, and who is on Jaina?
Hanzuku.
Brother.
Hanuku.
Bruh, Hadouken! I play too many games. You should play Street Fighter, by the way. That game is sick. Anyways.
Oh my god. Alright, let's see if the red team with their Leo main tank can make a play here. I'm actually still surprised that they went for this, and I am not a fan, I gotta admit. Leo main tank was a thing for a short period a couple of years ago where teams were experimenting with this. The idea is essentially that it's fine if Leo dies. You want to trade, you want to bait a lot of cooldowns out, but you are totally willing to die. So him dying isn't a problem as long as you're trading well and as long as you're powering your team to capitalize on that death with counter kills, good position or whatever it is. So seeing Leo fall a few times and activating his trade, it's not going to be a disaster. He respawns quickly, he respawns on site, you don't have travel time, so there's a lot of advantages to this. So it's essentially a lineup, a team composition that is willing to sacrifice their part of the front line during team fights. But the results were never really all that great, and it kind of disappeared. So the Swedish team, they are trying to make this work. Obviously, there's a lot of preference picks involved for the team as well. Let's point that out right from the get-go, but we'll see. You know, maybe they can make this work and claim victory here.
We will have to see. I will have to admit to you that I did go through a Leoric main tank phase years ago, and I originally started doing it against Diablo in particular. The idea was if there was a main tank that did a hard engage afterwards and was hard for him to escape, I could put my creepy hand on top of him, soak his life, and win the trades in that regard. And I also really enjoyed it against high CC competitions because I could be in control of not worrying about my support having to use cleanse on me consistently. It can be relatively hard to pull off, but you do feel really good about it around level 13 when you get the extra W built into the stack. So we'll see if they're going to be going that route. But I do agree with you that it didn't really have the full results that I was looking for. There were some small niche cases worked out, but we'll see if they can pull it off here and gain number 2. And they kind of have to, because they are currently down 1-0 and need this win.
Talking about stacks, we have In the Rhythm now for Taika, so he's really trying to extend the minigun duration. It's not necessarily the best build, it's not necessarily the strongest build. We've seen full-on focus into auto attack with press the advantage on level 1 over here. I'm interested to see how much he can get out of it, but I've seen a couple of games where Taika's, especially with Garrosh together, who can give him more time to get the minigun connected, has an insane amount. I think the Taika's game that I talked about there, he had like, I think he had like 500 stacks or something.
Jeez.
It was essentially an endless minigun towards the end. It was brutal. It was absolutely insane. The damage was bonkers. So it can be really, really fun to go for that particular type of build. We'll see if he gets enough stacks here. It's important that you get in the first few minigun rotations at least a couple of stacks so that you can build on that and exponentially increase the numbers and the duration. But there's also a blind against you from the other side, so that might shut it down a little bit. But so far, he's been doing okay.
Ooh, triangle coming down. Alaric pushes Taika straight into that locked-in corner, and now we have a fight for the minions at the top for our shrine. Dahaka moving forward and trying to buy a block here on the left, but was in the middle of using his Dark Swarm, so he actually was able to walk on through. Tongue is about to be up and available, and Cascon's getting low on HP. Will be able to get the kill. Yes, they do. And suddenly, Sweden is finding their own picks. But Taika gets booped into the fight as well, and with a grenade follow-up, that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
And the problem is it was a 5 versus 4. Blaze wasn't there. He was at the bot lane. They both now have level 7 talents, but this was all with the numbers advantage for Team Sweden. And now that we have Blaze appearing, they're obviously starting to have more problems with Starzerg becoming the next victim. And that is kill number 2 for the UK.
Looking like UK is going to be able to grab this Punisher Shrine here at the very, very top. It will be a Fire Punisher, which means they're not going to do too much damage. It will step up and give some decent DPS overall, but this should be relatively defendable. Usually on the first Punisher, the one that is the most terrifying is going to be the Frozen Punisher. It is expected to about have 50% damage on the fort, but let's see what they can do here as Time Bullet steps up and begins a defense.
Could be a rough one. I mean, it's a Water Punisher, it's not a Frozen Punisher, but still, they went through the wall quickly. Now they go for Leon, try to drop him. And yeah, Leo goes away for now, but he's essentially out of the fight. And Tychus is moving in. Leo got healed and is starting to move back into it, but look how low Jada, for example, is, and the rest of the team is not looking too hot either. So they have to fall back here. Still a few minions to soak up the shots. Blaze misses the jet propulsion on the other hand, and all of a sudden Wintered Sun was in some trouble, but they couldn't get the kill.
Wow, 80%, almost his entire fort going down. Impressive first push here for Team UK. You don't see that every single day, but they were able to pull it off, and it kind of comes down to not having your traditional tanks being able to hold that front line. Poor Leo just getting bullied out. Now TrikSlyr tries to soak up and build up for that level 10, but once again, exactly like in game number 1, Team UK takes a commanding lead and is going to hit 10 first.
Also, we have TrikSlyr with Alarak now on 20 stacks with him on 4. So he's already sitting at 17,000 damage, and that is a crazy amount of stacks this early. Well, not crazy. It's very strong. It's very, very strong to have 20 this quickly after essentially one big team fight. If he can build on this, then we are going to get some crazy numbers towards the end of the game. So Alarak is becoming a huge problem, especially since he can follow up on stuns from both Johanna and from Blaze after level 10 now has hit. So we have a lot of engaged tools on the side of the blue team, which is going to make it very difficult for Sweden to approach these team fights now.
Yeah, I would be feeling my oats right now if I had that kind of stacking available on my Alarak. 11-9 right now, 10 about to occur. Time Bullet steps up, misses a Neil Peasant actually on top of these goats, but he did get the rest of the minions there. But these goats actually do a decent amount of damage to the forts in this map, as they're going to start shelling away, and the best part too is they outrange them, so they got to clear that up at some point. But poor Tychus was up in the top lane trying to maybe find a kill on Blaze early here, and this fort has been left all by itself. Jaina can't step up and do a blither with Nano, not Nano, floating around. Unstoppable comes out, but there goes the 4, and another pick for Team UK, and they're looking to get some damage here on Time Bullet, who's trying to lead the charge.
Drill time as Tychus flanks in, drops the drill. They still have the trap on Alarak. They're trying to take him down and get the sadism removed, and they get that kill. Leo sacrifices himself here, but that's a trade that they're willing to take, and now even more stacks for Tychus, who has done well so far. 47 on his level 4, and he gets the damage in. Really nice connects from Mr. Tycho here. And finally, we're having Sweden with a bit of success in these battles. They're starting to look for the next kill. The Haka still on the prowl. They're moving in for Deckard Cain. The body block is there. The mace to the face from Leo, and that is the end of the old geezer.
Wow, Time Bullet and Stars are really working well together. Time Bullet was able to move forward, get the Neil Peasant, slow down a couple of targets, amazing Entomb, and TrikSlyr came flying in with that extra speed on Dahaka and helped find a tongue to get a kill. And of course, with them being able to rotate in the middle lane, they found another one on Deckard Cain. Also, we have Rocket Ride for Junkrat. Is that pretty common nowadays, or are we in for a preference choice?
Definitely is not common.
Okay, I just wanted to check, man. So I'm not up to the meta right here. That is
But
very,
I'm
very
always
unique.
a fan.
Yeah, same.
I'm a very big fan of Rocket Ride. It is a fun one to watch. Is it the better one of the two? Probably not. But whenever a team is willing to try it out, I'm here for it. I gotta say, there's a level lead and a talent advantage now for the blue team, but they're losing Junkrat immediately as the fight starts. The counter kill against Jaina is something they can't prevent though, but this is going to get wild here. We have lots of stacks for Tychus, and we have in addition to that now also Alarak back to business. Jet propulsion on Hanzuka, and still alive and cannot be killed.
Wow, that Zale is so good on Whitemane, able to keep her safe alive, but Tycho actually went for a fight in the backside and then winds up getting caught into a weird position while Vin and Sun comes over and they turn around and get the picks there. That fight was all over the place, and it looks like Junkrat's intention is to use that Rocket Ride to get out of any Entombs coming their way, but Tychus was fully aware of it and hit him with a grenade right in the middle of the casting animation, and that's why he went down. But with it all said and done, Team UK comes out on top and they're able to start grabbing these minions, and they'll now be able to have a Punisher pushing in the bottom lane. This one's a Frozen Punisher. They may intend to push with it and try to get some damage on top of that keep.
now finally we're 13, but you're absolutely right. They are going to try and get the maximum out of this as they're pushing with the objectives through the bottom of the map. The problem really for Sweden was that they just didn't have level 13 talents in that fight. It's a huge disadvantage for them. They have massive amounts of damage now coming from TrikSlyr, for example, who has a very, very solid number of stacks now on level 4. But it's a hugely problematic fight for them. Again, Alarak with a play. They're trying to go for TrikSlyr, and here comes the rocket roll. Oh, good damage on Jaina, but not enough to get a kill.
Heals are coming in at the last second, and we're good to go. Mr. Tycho finally turns around and works on the punter. So luckily, all that they lost was the keep wall, and the keep does stand quite well on full HP. But that 2-level disadvantage is starting to really become a major issue, and I imagine 16 will be up and available for Team UK on the next shrine. So you might want to see the red team look for a fight here, and they're going to need Time Bullet to step up and find an Entomb. It'll be up in about 12 seconds, and I wonder where that location is going to be for them. It could be on the minion camps to the south side. There is one here on the far right for the siege camp, and one to the very bottom. In fact, Cascon thinks that might be a possible fight area too, and holds down the bush.
Have a lot more experience in minion XP alone for the blue team, so they're doing better in their rotations, not even talking passive experience where they're ahead by 3,500 and trying to drop the last fall in the middle. Here comes the Entomb, could go for the bunker and does to counteract that, so they're just exchanging cooldowns, which is basically a win for Leoric.
Yep.
But it's not a massive one for Blaze either, but that's going to cost him another minute until it's back. Either way, Drill for defense, a little bit too aggressive from the positioning. Blessed Shield missing. Cascon looking for the engage, but can't find it. They are still able to push for the fort, and they're dropping it.
Tycho taking some poke and will back away. Where are the stacks are for Not Nano right now? Let me have a look here. 29 currently for him. Okay, so after his death did reset, so he's back to where he was earlier. And that 16.5 is going to be a pretty decent window for our blue team. They step up and start to look at this keep. Dahaka is in the top lane, building up his essence and trying to soak up that 16, but man, you can just see the firepower right now. It's too good for Team UK. They can't keep anyone alive.
Tychus, he's still in play, at least, but they're taking so much damage on every structure. We have the blue team just sieging up over and over again. These guys are moving in and are just dropping one hero after another, and even if they can't get the kills, they push them back enough that they have access to the structures and can start destroying them. And somehow Sweden needs to deal with it. They're trying to force the fight again. Starzog is a little bit low. Maybe now the opportunity to get another kill. In comes the rocket, right? Can't decide who to go for, and finally settles on Tychus. They go for the Haka, and that should be the end of the keep at the bottom of the map. Team UK, once again, just clear-headed in the team fight, in with better coordination.
And they have all 5 members up and available, and Decker Kane will definitely get everyone nice and healed up, especially with those giant potions being available. So they will try to get a kill there on top of Leoric, and they finally get it with the shield glare. There goes the keep down to underneath 1/5 of its HP, and finally wiped up. So one keep down on the bottom, that'll get some catapult pressure, and look at this timing. A shrine now activated to the very north side of the map. Junkrat has already pushed that way forward, and this should be a free pickup for Team UK. In fact, you see Blaze heading down the bottom to grab the mercenary camps. They can do whatever they want right now. They're so far ahead of Team Sweden.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have more than a 2-level lead now. Also, the damage from Alarak, his progress on his level 4 slowed down a little bit, but he still is above 30 stacks now. 45,000 damage puts him into the top damage of the game. Tigers with good stacks too, but they're just having problems getting those kills that they need. And of course, the biggest issue is you're so far behind that you are basically always trailing. They have, for the next fight, probably even talents, but level 20 is in reach for Team UK. They could even slow this down. They could go to 39 stacks and just try and slow this down a little bit and see if they can get extra experience on the lanes. Most of them are already pushed out, so if they decide against it, they can just go for it here.
No.
But how is the team going to stop this? And the answer is, it doesn't look like they are. They lose white main instead of getting a kill themselves.
This is when you understand the macro and what the opposing team needs to do to make a comeback. When you're at this substantial of a lead and you know what they have to do in order for them to be able to get a fight or a Hail Mary to happen, you can predict it and go for the engage. Immediate deletion here. Ooh, we do lose out on Johanna. She gets picked up there from the turret. The turret getting more kills.
That bunker was awesome. Jojo is about to die, and the shot is already flying, and Blaze, who's like half a screen away, is like, I gotcha, and drops that random bunker that does nothing. But hey, it's the thought that counts. I appreciate the thought behind it.
Well, I'm thinking if you want an extra thought here, is this game is potentially over as this Punisher starts to walk towards this core. Now, Leoric is back, and there is a Jaina on the way, so defense is going to be the name of the game for Team Sweden. Core begins to take some damage. Everyone sets up around it. This keep also on the left and the middle here is doing a good job of helping out the defense, and let's see if there's any way Sweden can hold this here. It is a 5v4, and the Entomb does miss out as Alaric is able to telekinesis, but they have bought time for now.
They are not giving up. You gotta give them that. Sweden, this is a bunch of meatballs that we got over on the right side. These boys, they are fighting tooth and nail to try and get back into this game. We have level 20 talents for the blue team. It's still a 2-level gap between them. A little bit more than that, just experience-wise, but for just talent purposes, we have 2 levels that need to be bridged by the red team until they are on level 20. And, you know, once they hit that, Buried Alive might give them some opportunities to get kills. Maybe, I mean, it's going to be tough one way or another. And I don't think the blue team is going to be willing to wait this long.
I mean, they're going to take the third keep here, too, which is going to give another lane of catapult pressure. And if they don't really find an angle, they could just go for the next Punisher and then game that way. But for now, they are keeping their lead and moving forward. Entomb does miss out. It'll be down for a bit. Laser's coming up in about 5 seconds. Leoric trying to stay alive. Down to half HP already. Goes over and starts to set up defense. Digger King comes up with a stay a while. Listen, he wants to tell a story here, but no one really listens to it as it falls on deaf ears. Same time, Dahaka pops his essence and turns around. He has a tongue available for him. Can they find anything here to pick up? Alaric would be a juicy target. Leoric goes forward with the creepy hand and does miss it, and now they gotta back away, Caldor.
They go for time bullet, they drop Leo immediately. Starzerk also low, they're still attempting to defend the drill on the ground, but with 14 kills to 5, we now have UK going for the victory here. They want the 2-0, they want to secure the chance to still do well in this group and advance to the next stage of the tournament, and they are laying the groundwork here. They go up against Sweden, and they're taking it on Infernal Shrines. Team UK, they're taking 2 maps in a row and defeat Team Sweden on Infernal Shrines. GG.
Wowzer.
So, yeah, good stuff here. So that's our second series of the day. We obviously have a little bit more coming up. In fact, let me check what our next match is. We have... Ooh. That's gonna hurt.
I'm hearing good sounds. What's going on?
I'm not so sure if those are good sounds or not. Basically, Sweden just had a warm-up game. And now they're going up against France 1.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Poor Sweden, man. A little bit of a painful back-to-back series for them. But they're warmed up.
That could hurt.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they didn't pick a tank in the last round, because they don't want to give away their draft so they can take on the real number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying?
IQ 200 play. I like it.
Yeah, man. You got to draft for the future. Big brains.
Yeah, that's a wild one. Yeah, that one that could hurt now. All right, we had just now. Sweden. Okay, let me update the score on this one as well. Yeah, the Swedes. I mean, again, it's the 3rd seed from Sweden. It wasn't the 1st seed or anything, but still. For Group 2, that means that we have now essentially. I mean, if France wins the next one, they take 1st seed in the tournament. In the group. And then what it boils down to would be a battle between Germany and the UK for 2nd place. That's essentially what we're talking about.
Okay.
And actually, let me check if we get this today. Yes, that's going to be the last match of the day. So we're actually getting that today, too.
Sweet. All nice and set up. You got me for at least, let me double check, 2 more hours, I believe. So maybe one more series?
Awesome. Good stuff.
Sweet. And then, of course, I can be here next Saturday. Valentine's Day, we got some more casting, right?
Yep.
Yes. Cool.
Like every weekend now, Saturday, Sunday, just continuously at the same time. But I'll also give you for every single weekend the match list, so you can check if you want, if it's interesting for you. Yeah.
I'm down to cast anything, man. I'm just here during the time. It's all time slots for me. Good morning, everyone.
Set up.
Everyone having fun?
You got your US boys all waking up, right? And basically starting the days right now. Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's 9 o'clock for me, but it's 12 o'clock over on the East Coast, so we are getting there. Everyone's starting to wake up. That means NA Storm League should be playable in about 7 hours.
Yeah, like I always hear bad things when people are trying to queue up for NA games.
I had to stop playing HOTS in the morning. It was just too much of a...
I mean, yeah, server with little population and then playing in the morning, that sounds pretty rough.
You got all the people that are like waking up, they just don't care. I get people that just AFK if they die, like in the first 2 minutes, or it's like, oh, well, no point in playing this game. They just AFK, but they don't leave because they don't want lever queue. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't know. I was always fine with people insulting me as long as they try. I don't care. Like I can mute the chat. I can ignore you. Just try.
Yeah.
What really gets my blood boiling is people that intentionally running down middle, go AFK for extended periods of times, and then it's like, and this like shit like, oh, it's just a game. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Then play against bots.
Yeah,
it's
go to ARAM if it's just a game, bro. We'll play against AI.
It's a multiplayer game. Either you try. You don't have to be the best player in the world, but try, give it an honest shot. Or if you don't have time or you don't want to play, then play a single-player game. It's just like, it's not that difficult.
I have respect for players that are like, hey man, I'm having a bad game. What do you need me to do? And I'm like, bro, I'm down to lose with this type of person any day, you know?
Yeah.
Don't send them to ARAM. Yeah, get out of my rank experience.
We have a lobby, actually.
Ooh, nice, on the way.
They were faster than I thought. They were in the other Discord lobby there. So
they're like the Flash, dude. So fast.
Pretty much full. Yeah, don't send them to ARAM. Exactly, like, because I try in ARAM as well. I'm fine with people testing things in ARAM and funning around a little bit more, but I still want them to at least try to win.
They're your problem now, man.
Whoops. Oh, okay. He swapped you already. Faster than I thought.
Perfect.
Nice. Damn, like they are very, very quick. Considering that they just played the series, I really thought they needed a minute or two. But that was a quick one.
Some people are just built different, man. They're ready to game.
For sure. No, like we have a lot of teams that are really snappy. It's one of the reasons why I also like to cast the Heroes Lounge matches when we do the Underdog Cups, because those teams, they are eager. They are, they want to, they're there. I absolutely love that. Okay.
Okay.
Ready to go?
I'm ready.
In. Of course, they need to play to. So. All right, it's going to be a toughie. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Group B, and a pretty important match, at least for the French. I guess for Sweden, too. We got France up against Sweden. And in Group B, the situation so far here at the Nations Cup is that the French team won 2 of their matches. If they are able to lock in a victory here, then they are for sure first seed in Group B and will advance to the next round of the tournament. Whereas Sweden, they are so far without a victory, so it's tough for them. Now, to be pointing this out right from the get-go, this is the 3rd seed Swedish team, and it's the 1st seed for France. So just on paper alone, the French are obviously the big favorite for this series. We have 28 teams that signed up for this tournament. It was an open sign up, so everybody could form a team and sign up as long as the players are from the same country. So there definitely still skill discrepancies between the teams, as we've seen in Group A, for example, with the 1st seed for Germany. But there are still some very close battles going on, and especially in Group B, we're going to get at some point UK facing off against Germany too, and that is very likely going to decide who takes 2nd place in the group. So some pretty intense matches here, but again, 28 teams from from 17 different countries. We have 7 groups with 4 teams each that play a full round robin. First seed moves on to the next round of the tournament, and that advances 7 teams, obviously. But we need an 8th team, which means that all of the second places in the groups will fight it out in a last chance qualifier to see who is the final team to advance to the next round. So that's essentially the situation in the tournament here. And as usual, I also have some reinforcements here with TrikSlyr joining me once again for another series.
Hello, and maybe you should be a math teacher, man. Holy moly, I have not heard so many numbers rattled off in the span of 30 seconds of my life. Jeez Louise, dude, you were ready to go with all that.
Dude, it's actually kind of funny because, like, obviously, you know, you do it for the live stream because people tune in and out all the time, and sometimes you have new viewers coming in, but you also do it for YouTube. And it's always nice to kind of remind people where we are, what we do. There's some graphics up for that as well, and then, okay, what are the next phases? But then you have, of course, on the other hand, people that watch everything.
Yeah.
Every single video you put out, the entire live stream, and they are sometimes just sitting there like, that shit again.
You should try to be a caster.
I get
people.
it. I understand it. But it's like,
I would argue half our job is trying to figure out ways to take the same scenario and say it a different way over and over and over again. Well, speaking about
one guy that was like I sometimes made this joke about like Tomb of Spider Queen and the Secret Mountain. There was like one guy, I've heard this 100 times. I'm like, dude, I maybe say this twice a year. You're just watching everything I put out. That's why, you know, it's like, huh, so I'm a regular viewer apparently. I was like, yep, you got loyalty right there, so that's a plus. But yeah, it's difficult sometimes. On the one hand, you want to bring everybody on board, especially people that watch for the first time want to know what's going on, but it's tough when you have also others that are just watching everything that gets put out there. So it's always a bit of a weird one.
Well, maybe you should come join me in the Variety Life, and then you can repeat the same opinions on every game that you play. Speaking of repeats, man, we get a Sylvanas once again. She has been in every single best of 3 series at least once, and we're going to get her on Sky Temple for game number 1, and she's going to be paired up with Hogger, who was a complete menace in the series early against Germany.
TrikSlyr, he's insane. I mean, considering that for a long time he also didn't really play a whole lot. When he was regularly playing in every single competitive tournament, he was just the best side laner out there, period. His Blaze was crazy. And now he's playing with the French again. They're scrimming, they're training. His Hogger is damn good. Then you have Blaze on the other side taken early, so that wasn't an option for him. But yeah, TrikSlyr, he is a powerhouse for sure.
Well, we will see him pull it off. We're going to have Blaze and Johanna. That'll make it a little bit easier to help control those front lines, especially on those temples. The early game for Sky Temple, man, you just want to make sure that you are able to get to the second temple phase at least even footing on levels, because around then you usually have level 10, and that's where you can really open up the map. And Blaze and Johanna should help out with that. We get our first Li Ming of the day, which is exciting. Li Ming always brings in those potential reset compositions that can really run over folks, and her having the front line to set up her fights is going to be exciting. Tyrael and Rhaegar will be the 3rd and 4th pickup. Poor Banana Man. He's been playing so much Rhaegar today. When are we getting his Ana? When's it going to happen?
I don't know. Probably not on the map here. Once they're drafting a couple of proper mages for themselves, I guess. But for Sweden, they are in for a tough ride, and they know it too. They struggled in the group, and they are... I mean, they had some great plays, but it's just like the end results weren't there. Now they come in with Brightwing and with Genji as their final 2 picks. Frontline, I really like what they have there, but we get Abathur for the French. It's slug time, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we saw good old Abby, so hail to the king over here. I like it. And that brings us to Sky Temple, map number 1 between France and Sweden here in Group B of the Nations Cup.
I love Abathur!
All right, so let's see. That I did not necessarily see coming here. Getting an Abathur pick this early,
Yeah.
that's going to make Masquerade so aggressive. He's going to be in their face all game long.
Yeah, material. A lot of people really discount Abathur with tanks. It's so helpful. A little bit of extra damage, a little shield. Muradin is like one of the best combinations. Everyone's like, oh, I should do Greymane. And yes, it's great. But man, you get a Muradin with the right setup. Whew.
And then we'll see what that front line can do. Jojo Blaze is always nice. If you are able to get some stuns together, then you can go for quick kills. If Li Ming is teed up and unleashes the combo, that's great. But yeah, I expect a lot of shenanigans here from the French.
Gotta make sure you have a cleanse whenever you are dealing with a Johanna or a Blaze, or your teammates are not gonna have a fun time.
A bit bad for Sweden. I think this is going to be a rough one. But hey, they signed up, so I'm happy that we had this many teams here. Like, a shout out to all of the teams that signed up for this. This is always cool to see. I did not expect this many teams.
Not bad for a dead game, man. Europe holding the mantle for HOTS. Woof.
Time for Sky Temple. Words today. Over on the left, we got in blue the French with Dequaza on Hogger, GWO on Sylvanas. We have Masquerade with Tyrael, Yazu on Abatha, and Banana H, last but not least, is playing Rega for the blue team.
And Mr. Taiko will be playing Genji for the red team, Time Bullet on Johanna, who is on Lemin, Hanzuka playing Brightwing, and Starzerg will be our side laner as he's going to be showcasing the Blaze.
The red team obviously so far without a big victory, so maybe they can change it now. We'll see how Yazu is going to perform on Abatha now. But at least for the time being, it is quite clear who the favorite in the series is. The French have been doing extremely well. They've won both of the series that they played so far. They defeated the Germans and also the UK. But now, the jet propulsion. In comes Team Sweden looking for a quick kill, but they're missing out on it as the blue team can retreat past the wall.
I didn't really realize it as well when I was playing HOTS back in the day, but Blaze's jet propulsion is such a cool ability. He literally just charges into the middle of a fight, man, with his shoulder. How badass is that? Able to land a target on a couple of of CC, and our teams will immediately start moving over to the Giants, which again have spawned on the earlier side. They are now up at 30 seconds. A beautiful patch, actually, that I love to see. Oh my gosh, Starzerg is actually coming through over Dequaza. He sneaks him out here for the Brightwing. Oh my gosh, early invade on top of the Hogger, and Sweden is trying to make a play, and they draw first blood against the French.
Really well done. Love it. Like, I mean, they got aggressive. They knew eventually somebody would take it. They just said, okay, Hogger is likely going to take that solo. That's essentially what he does. We have Brightwing. They don't have a fifth body on the map. They only have Abatha here, so we're going to try and make the quick 2v1 and take the advantage. And they did, so good for them to go for the aggressive play and pull it off.
Yep, take note about that at home. If you're playing against an Abatha composition, use that body advantage to your advantage, right? And they do pull it off. Now, the experience is relatively similar. That night camp at the top left was cleared out. We did have the Giants start pushing in the bottom lane, though, and Mr. Taiko has been trying to clear that out, but we'll have to deal with that later on as we build into our temple phase that will be popping up relatively soon. Now, there is still a night camp available for the taking in the top right corner, so I expect Sweden to pop that out relatively soon to, 1, get a experience lead, but 2, to help out with that pressure in the top lane. If they can grab that temple and take out the fort, they're going to feel pretty darn good. And I have to ask you, Caldor, do you think we get a mule for Abathur on this map?
I mean, we should definitely. This is a map where the objective attacks structures directly and is all about survival there. So it would really shock me if they didn't go for it. We get Needle Spine on 4 now, typical build for Abatha, and I don't see a reason why he would go for anything else but the traditional level 7 talent as well. So, standard build so far, and I do not see him deviate away from that.
Okay, Night Camp being grabbed. Usually you want to try and get this popped out around the 15-second mark. That way you have it pushing in the wave, and you can force your opponents to either defend it, or if they leave it alone, it will walk in towards that Night Camp. And you want to try and beat that mule timing, right? You want to get that fort taken down before they're able to pop it down and heal it up. So, Temple's activating in about 7 seconds. Blaze and Hogger are fighting in the top lane. Abathur will bolster that out as they try to clear up this Night Camp. But you can see all this health pool really starting to group up, and even Rhaegar is here to help out, which will allow for Brightwing to go to the bottom lane and try to absorb level 7 during this Temple phase.
And for now, we have good control here in the middle for Team Sweden. The UK is France is trying to get some control up at the top, and this is really one of the tricky ones for France, simply because, again, they only have Abatha. He can't really participate in a team fight outside of supplying his symbiote. But they're getting good damage in the middle, and they're dropping Genji. The damage over time was enough to take him out. So Genji is gone, Team France with a kill, and now full control over the middle, and a lot of control at the top too. So they are doing exceptionally well in this early game, which they are kind of supposed to struggle with a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually appreciating the rotations from Masquerade. You know, helping getting the kill in the middle lane. Immediately goes to the top side here. Wants to make sure this Temple is not going over their opponents here. They're all trying to get ahead of that 7 talent power spike here for that Mule that could be coming online for Abathur. TrikSlyr turns around for the Jet Propulsion and hits Masquerade. And looks like he will be backing up at that Temple. Did some decent damage. That fort in the top right is down to half HP. And there is that Mule lock in. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. France has a very strong footing here for this early game, considering that they have an Abathur. Usually you're just trying to hold back the Storm until level 10, but they find themselves ahead.
France is one of the top teams in the tournament, for sure. The first seed French team is just so powerful. Just the name recognition alone that we have on the team with Masquerade, with the Quasar, Banana Age. I mean, honestly, this is one of the big teams in the event, and they're doing exceptionally well here. Getting another kill on Brightwing, and then Genji. Once that he didn't have healing anymore, they drop him too. Top side is getting attacked. The top side fort is basically out. It's already eliminated with the Quasar's help from Abathur, allowing him to push deep. And now they're doing the same thing at the bottom of the map. They're trying to go for Time Bullet, and they get the kill on Jojo.
Oh my.
She's gone, and the fort will fall as a result.
This is a lesson for any MOBA. Aside from Heroes of Storm, you know, League of Legends, Dota, Deadlock, I don't care what you play. You never want to go into a fight where there are 20 minions in the middle of an engage. As we just saw there, GW was getting focused down by Genji, and they were diving onto him and getting close to low HP, but there was 20 minions nearby, and when Rhaegar was able to rotate over and provide a heal, the turnaround was massive, and in that small play in that scenario blew up, and that comes down to the golden rule, man. Don't fight in large minion waves. Unfortunate there for Team Sweden, and now Team France with that turnaround has a commanding lead.
It's actually kind of funny that they're going for the boss now, because this really reminds me of the Fnatic McDonald's strategy. Obviously, you can't pull that off anymore these days, because the game itself has just changed so much, the way that experience works, the game that pressure on lanes work. But the idea back then was also to get an early level 10 and use that to secure a quick boss and then push. They don't have a lineup to make it work the same way, but they got Sylvanas, and they're getting even more kills. It's 5 kills to 1, and they're at least going to get value out of that. Completely ignoring the objective, by the way. Why wouldn't they? Because they have a massive push going on now that might even result in them getting damage in on the keep before they fall back to take the shrine.
It's not every day that you see a CC train on Johanna, but that was everything. The Iron Skin was used to dodge out some of the damage coming in their way, and a trigger was pulled by France as they jumped on top of Johanna and took her out relatively quickly. Yasu trying to hold his front line. This is an Ultimate Evolution clone, though, so he doesn't mind getting picked off. Yeah, sure, a little bit of experience, but it doesn't really cost his team too much as they work on the fort. Here comes an X-Strike, but Rhaegar nails the perfect Ancestor healing. That's my boy Banana H, man. He ate his potassium today, and it's on full display. TrikSlyr starts to go for the retreat, but the clone is now gone. Quasar trying to lead with a full rage bar. Can they get the pick on Time Bullet? There goes the spread of damage from Sylvanas. Smacks Ray, tries to go in, but Tycho somehow turns the fight around, gets the reset. There's going to be one. Now they turn around towards Tyrael, and Sweden is showing signs of life.
Getting the double kill here, finally. But Li Ming also gets annihilated. Sylvanas actually trying to retreat. Now Abathur with the help, but in comes Genji. Mr. Tycho here. He's been carrying them through the fight, and now he wants to get another kill. Mind control is being used. Jet propulsion. And bye-bye Sylvanas. They saved the structure at the bottom of the map. Now they have access to the temple and can get maybe a little bit more value here. But yeah, big plays that we're currently getting from the two teams. But I mean, even with this now claimed, with the shots fired against Team France, they've done so much damage. 2 forts destroyed, they keep at the bottom of the map suffering. And the problem is simply, Team Sweden doesn't have a mule.
Yeah.
Abathur does. So for the French, so they can, if something gets damaged here, they can always repair it.
Yeah, it's almost like this temple was a bit of a bait, actually, because they did wipe the entire team, but even if they got the entire progress bar on that temple, it's not going to kill off that fort. The mule would just kind of offset it, and it's why it's so important to have a commanding lead when you are playing an Avatar composition, because it becomes that much harder for the opposing team to fight this uphill battle. And now the temple being taken away, you are completely correct. There is no way to heal these structures like Avatar is doing, and they are slowly shelling away on the middle of the map. They're grabbing these giants already as well, keeping up the minion wave pressure. Masquerade charging forward on the fort, and now at this point they can just pick and choose, man. If we see nobody near the area, we'll just take what's given to us. And they get a fort in the middle with Sylvanas and Tyrael. You have Hogger finishing off the shots, and this is actually kind of clever by them, by the way. They didn't finish the temple. They took the fort in the middle, grabbed the temple on the bottom, and with the shots they were able to get this keep down to low HP by putting all those shots on the bottom keep. Heads up play by France, and this is why they're #1.
And now they want to get the structure, of course. They're pushing in. They want this. They want to take that out. Makes it much easier for them. Rhaegar again with another Ancestral. Banana Age way too aggressive at the start. Jumps into deep, but they're baiting them into that fight. The dog should die, but they're getting a mind control on Blaze, and StarZerg trying to get out as Banana is just trapped in the base.
No way.
Hoping for his cooldowns to get back. Gets the heal, gets the hat, and then finally gets the spot.
Who let the dog out, man? Get him in his kennel. Okay, finally they grab the Rhaegar, and they're set up from there. Okay, so with it all said and done, man, all the forts are currently available for Team France. They are 15.5 in experience right now. They need to clear out the top lane, but they are sitting pretty, and they can wait for their Rhaegar. Team Sweden, by the moment here, is setting up for possible kills in the later game. There is one thing we have to be aware of, is they have Li Ming and Genji together. So resets are the name of the game, and that's how they're gonna come back. Right now, with Rhaegar being down for about 5 seconds and everyone on the top lane, they're gonna take the time to move towards this fort, but they gotta be careful, man, because Team France is already rotating down to get on top of them.
They haven't taken out a single structure yet. Well,
Not one.
Ignoring walls and towers for a second, but all the forts are still standing. And now with the level 16 advantage, Team France is starting to move in, wants to be aggressive and force another fight, of course. They're chasing kills here. It's 7-5 so far, but France is looking for an even bigger lead, forcing the ult from Johanna. She's still low, makes it out. Judgment on Brightwing, the Fruit Fly getting attacked, but Blaze comes through the bunker and is able to save him here. StarZerg misses on the other hand. It's Jet Propulsion. All of a sudden, he becomes the target, and he has no chance. Hogger ult with a stun, and then Mind Control. It's the end of Blaze, and France is pushing.
Time Bullet is going to be able to finally get back and heal on up. Yes, France is pushing, and they're looking to get some damage on this core. Mr. Tycho trying to step up, but man, Rhaegar is just doing a great job of keeping everyone nice and healed up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an 11-minute push for core on Sky Temple, which is not something you're going to be seeing too often, especially with how this core is able to defend with Darude flying around and push everyone back. But Team Sweden is just bruised and battered. They need Blaze to come back, but they just lost to Johanna when he shows up, and the core begins to fall. Caldor, is this game over?
It certainly seems like it. With 2 levels of a lead, France is going for it, and they're dropping everything. The core is down to 50% right now. They go for StarZerg and the lead Blaze again, and this is likely going to be victory. France came in as the favorite for this one, and they are just showcasing why. They go for the core. It is game number 1 of the best of 3 series, and they're just not leaving Sweden a chance. 20%, but instead of just going for the big right click here, they're playing this a bit slow.
Excuse
and
me?
Hogger... What?
How is he? What?
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Someone
France
needs to
breaking
alert the
the rules of
janitor.
the game! And they're breaking the Swedes. They take the victory. Here's the W as the blue team pulls ahead with a 1-0 in the series.
I don't think I've ever seen that bug before. That's hilarious.
That was not a bug. That was a Quasar feature play.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. I don't know how this is considered the most comebackable MOBA.
How this
It
game is
used to be.
considered the most comeback.
A lot of MOBAs have
game is beyond
evolved
me.
since then.
I mean, you're looking at a game where we have a very clear skill difference between the 2 teams that are playing. As I said before multiple times, these are open signups.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, you have some absolute top players that were at the top of the game for a very long time. And on the other hand, you have players that play competitively, but in the amateur scene. So maybe not the right game to judge that. If you
Yeah,
want to
rough
judge
game.
comeback potential, then you have to look at teams that are on a skill side on the same level.
And to be fair, there's just been evolution in terms of MOBAs for the last 5 years in general. HOTS is a pioneer in comeback mechanics, and now like League has copied it, Deadlock as well. So like comebacks have become more possible in MOBAs because of HOTS. But in 2014 all the way up until 2019, HOTS was the only MOBA that you could really come back in really well. But ever since then, other MOBAs have learned, and the game design for HOTS was actually very influential everywhere across the board. So it's just, that's why HOTS has that kind of branding on top of it.
We got
Okay.
the map, the lobby up, by the way. We're going to Haunted again.
On the
I'm
way,
telling
my
you,
dude.
it's the Swedes. It's the Swedes with their map pick. They like to play here.
They like the game, man. They don't care win or lose. They're here to game, and that's my type of gamer, to be fair.
Also, again, guys, after this, we have our final series of the day. It's going to be Germany versus the UK. And from the looks of it, from how this is going right now, that next series will likely decide who is second place in the group and who gets eliminated from the group. So, last one of the day is going to be a banger.
Banger. That's the one I'm going to be missing, though, sadly. Hate to see it.
Yeah. We had some good ones.
Yeah.
But yeah. I actually don't even know what's happening next week. I have so many tabs open with all of this, with like the result pages, the groups and everything is always like bonkers. And then the schedule for the next one. Next week, yeah, we got Poland, France, Russia, Netherlands, Austria's playing Finland. Oh god, you have like 50,000 different teams next week. Because it's a mix between, I think, Group C and Group D. That's, I think, what's going on. But yeah, so we have Germany 3, France 3, Poland. It's going to be wild.
I look forward
next
to
week
it.
is a lot of new teams. A lot of new teams.
Who are we missing here? Who's slacking?
I am not 100% certain. I think I'm also missing...
StarZerg.
Yeah, StarZerg, but I thought... Didn't we have...
Oh, who is? There we go.
Yeah, okay. Noise needs to be swapped. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, StarZerg is now being invited, but we need Noise to be swapped onto the Casa side as well.
Perfect.
There we go. Yeah, they love Haunted Mines. I think we had it now 3 times, and it was always the Swedes that picked it. Sorry I had to go away. My wife needs to know your skincare routine. Sweat. I don't really have a skincare routine. You can ask my girlfriend. She has like full-on Korean skincare routine, which is one of the best. But I personally, I have one cream that she gave me because she's like, you get something. But outside of that, it's just sports every day and sweating. That's all there is. So it's probably the camera that is fooling your wife into believing that I have a good skincare routine.
He actually has a very advanced filter on his webcam that smooths it all out for you.
I actually have hair. You can't just see it because it's filtered out.
That would be wild.
Haunted Mines, everybody! Map number 2. Well, as mentioned before, the blue team, they are the favorite here. They're probably one of the top 3 teams. Well, top 3, top 5 teams in the tournament for sure. And now they are on their way to secure themselves a number 1 spot in Group B, which would, again, guarantee that they move on to the next round of the tournament. Whereas for Sweden, this might just be the end of the road here. We have now our second map up. Keep in mind the 10 heroes that were played on the previous map cannot be played again, so those are out. But there's still, of course, plenty of heroes to choose from. But yeah, the big question, what is Sweden going to do now? They, by the way, chose Haunted Mines again, so yeah, it's them that really, really love to play the map here, and I absolutely appreciate it. But outside of the map pick alone, they need to find a strategy here to break through the French defense.
There's no Sylvanas this time, though, which is interesting. Ooh, they open up the Lost Vikings, man. I know, in theory, Lost Vikings would be a really interesting pick on this map.
I hate it when a ban like that happens, because you didn't even think about it as a pick immediately, and then he gets banned, and you're just sitting there thinking, I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to pass that.
This was an option?
Why?
So,
Why are you holding us back, man? What the heck, France? Okay, well, no Vikings, which in theory, if there was a fight down at the bottom level of the skulls, the Vikings would soak up, so you would get an experience lead. But something to note, too, is every time that we've seen Haunted Mines today, there has been a Sylvanas available. So this time we're going to have a little bit of an adjustment on our picks, because Sylvanas was played in game number 1, not allowing for that to occur. Maiev and Fallstan will be the second and third ban coming in from Team Sweden.
What are we opening up here? I mean, typically we've seen a lot of side lane openers. We have already Hogga and also Blaze eliminated. We'll see if TrikSlyr is going to have some fun on this. It's also kind of funny because we have on the blue team side essentially 2 support players, and both of them can play very aggressive assassins. So we might see eventually a little bit of a swap going on from them too. That's another thing that might happen later. I mean, group stage, you can always argue that especially if you're a favorite and things are going well for you, you shouldn't just show everything that you have.
Yeah.
And all of these teams are, of course, scrimming and practicing some new builds. But yeah, we have a bit of variation now as Vala is being chosen as the first pick on Haunted Mines.
And Vala does open up a plethora of options. You can always go for double support if you want to. Of course, you have your single target damage builds. Potentially going to see what they could be going for. Probably going to be the auto attack build. But this does set up the blue team to be like, all right, do we want to make sure that we have a way to get on top of Vala so she's not going to be allowed to build up those stacks? It's going to be Yrel and Junkrat, so bringing control for those sappers. And then we saw Yrel earlier. Her being able to really just kind of do her own thing is always a strength in itself.
Yeah, and TrikSlyr, I mean, still extremely powerful here. Wooby is usually the one that you associate with Yrel right away, but TrikSlyr as a side lane, he is just an absolute monster.
Dude, remember
and
when
by the way, for everybody... Sorry?
Do you remember when Wubby went like on it was like a 20-0 like win streak? Anytime that they had Yrel on their team, like they were just winning. Like it was like a bonkers performance.
The one thing that I will never forget is how Glorang picked Samuro against Wooby's Yrel and decided that Bladestorm was a good idea on level 10. I still remember being on like the casting desk and like analyzing the draft and saying like, okay, I don't see how this is in any way, shape, or form gonna work. I was like, the only thing that I give him if he goes for swaps and just on level 10 just somehow pulls off the best macro game ever. But I say if he actually goes into a Bladestorm pick, the game is instantly over. He picks Bladestorm, game falls apart, and I was just sitting there like, it's Whoopi on Yrel. What are you doing? Like,
I think I remember that one because after the broadcast, we were going down the analyst desk and we were like, all right, what do you think? What do you think? And then we got to Caldor and he just looks pissed off. And we're like, Caldor, what do you think about that draft? And he goes, I'm embarrassed for North America. And we were like, okay, dude, I was mad. Break.
I talked to Fan afterwards, and I asked Fan, I was like, dude, what was that? And Fan just looked at me and was like, dude, I have no idea. And I was like, okay. I was like, and I asked him, like, do you think it was a little bit too harsh? And I was like, nope. Fan was always, like, very straightforward and stuff, and I really appreciated it. But yeah, Whoopi's dominance on Yrel, crazy. But TrikSlyr is... Whoopi is, by the way, playing in this tournament. They are playing for Sweden 1 with Breeze. Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
For them, it's just a practice question on how much practice they got in. But it will be interesting. The game that we have in front of us, on the other hand, continues with the draft. Varian and Stukov now, so we're going to get a bit of a sniper comp. I guess we're going to get a mage with some burst damage at the end for the blue team, at least from what they've been picking so far. Oriel and Ana. So with Imperius as the main tank, apparently, we have Malthel on the side lane, and it looks more like an auto attack style for Vala with a double support behind her. So yeah.
Okay, solid comp so far for Team of Sweden, but yeah, I'm looking for that mage right now that could be coming in. Jaina already been played, I believe, so we can't have Jaina in this mix. Li Ming also been played. Li Ming is usually someone that you do want to pair with Varian, the easy combo into it. And it's going to be Alarak, so a melee mage.
Yeah, follow up on the stuns, so he is going to be teed up perfectly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, map number 2, Haunted Mines. So let's go and let's see what the Swedes can pull off. Do they have a chance against the French? We're going to find out now.
Oh, that's a good point. We got 3 Diablo characters here.
Did he just speak about Fan? Yeah, well, I talked to Fan. We talked about the BlizzCon and the story, and I talked to Fan after the match that they played against Fnatic, and that was just a little bit of a anecdote there. So, let's go. But yeah, Fan has obviously abandoned competitive play completely, which is kind of sad. It would be awesome to see him in tournaments like this or others. But again, different priorities for him. Yeah. Totally understandable.
Fans
So,
are like one of those people in North America that I appreciated that we had in our region, because like he actually thought about the game and tried to like push things forward. You know, it was like
100%.
Fan. I think. Oh God, who was the other person? Caterpillar was another one that I really enjoyed. Like he was very efficient, but he's like part German, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I was really surprised because like every single time that somebody from the US told me, "Oh, do you know?" I'm like from this country. I'm like, uh-huh. So you have a distant relative that at some point visited that country. But Cal can actually speak fluent German. I was really surprised by that. It was pretty cool to talk to him.
Yeah, he's an
I was like,
interesting nerd.
wow,
I like
what?
Cattle.
Yeah, Kettle is cool. Okay.
There's a podcast idea. We can just talk about every player and what we like and don't like about them.
Yeah, that's gonna make us very popular.
Bro, the other day, Kala was streaming, and he just started shit-talking me for like, it's like 30 minutes straight. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Get over it. That was 5 years ago, you dumb fuck.
Game on! The French in blue, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 in the best of 3. Can they make it a 2-0? We got the blue team with the Quasar on Urel. GWO is playing Alarak, so yeah, he's definitely going to try and capitalize on that Varian Stukov combo. We got Yasuo on Junkrat, Masquerade is playing Varian, and Banana H, last but not least, coming in with a low blow on Stukov.
And for the red team, the Sweden team, potentially on their last life here, having a rough couple of games, but definitely trying their heart out. Mr. Taiko on Valo, Hanzuka on Ana, Time Bullet on Imperius, who is on Ariel, and Starzerg with the Malthael.
Played Malthael on this map before. They really have a preferred style. They like to play the map. They have their style on this one, but they are going up against very tough opponents. As we said before, it is just a general thing in big tournaments where you have open signups that in the first round, no matter if it is a tournament bracket or a group stage, you will have big skill discrepancies between teams fairly often. And that leads to a quick kill at the top lane for Team France, for example, as they're locking in a first blood against Malthael. Starzerg is not going to be too happy about that. But yeah, I mean, again, the French, they are the big favorite in this group, and they're just showing why.
Yeah, they come in with another combo, and it's almost looking like easy, which is typically not a thing you're going to say a lot in Heroes of the Storm. Damage isn't as the highest thing in the world when it comes out compared to most MOBAs, but the teamwork right now for Team France is just on another level. 3 people being picked off here in the early game, and it's going to be a free sapper pickup on the bottom side, and they're looking for another one at the top.
Yeah, again, the Swedish team is actually not bad. These guys have pulled off some crazy plays, and a lot of them play in the amateur scene and are doing fairly well here. But there is definitely a big skill gap, and this is oftentimes the difference. It's quite easy when you're looking at a lot of those matches to not really pick up on that immediately, but it's just the margin of error is so small when you're going up against the top team. They will exploit every single misstep you make and punish you heavily, and that's going to snowball games quickly. Vala dying, for example, down here is already removing some of her attack speed bonus that she gets through her level 1 talent, so that is taking the sting away a little bit, and we're only 2 minutes in. And the French team is going to try and just ink out these advantages over and over again and build on them.
And think about it too, this even goes to a further level as well. When you're used to being able to sit in the top lane and soak it for free because you don't have a rotation coming down like we keep seeing here from Starzerg, you're not expecting a 3 to 4 man rotation to just suddenly show up and pick you off so quickly, you know? The speed of the game can be 10% better for the opposing team, but if you're not used to that 10%, suddenly you just start to find yourself in a scenario where you are drowning against the kills that are coming your way, and that's kind of what's happening right now to Team Sweden. Now, the good news is they're going to be at level 4 here. The experience lead isn't too astronomical, but it is starting to become a problem that they're going to have to stop that bleeding relatively soon.
Yeah, they gotta find some way for it. We also have an option, by the way, for later on in the game to not even see last rites for Malthael, but maybe a Tormented Souls that gets boosted by Ana. So that's another option that they could play here for extra damage in big team fights, especially on bosses or camps. They're trying to get a hit in on Masquerade, but keep in mind, Taunt is now ready, and there's the follow-up instantly on Vala. She's dead for the second time. That's 10% of her attack speed bonus gone. Time Bullet at least able to escape here, but they're really struggling, and Starzerg might very well become the next victim, especially since Taunt is ready. There it is, gets used. Malthael murdered. They go for Imperius, desperately trying to get a counter kill on Alarak to at least get a sadism reset, but that's not working out either. So yeah, they are just crushing it. killing Oriel here too. And Alrak, he just didn't care. He was sitting there saying like, "You're gonna keep me alive, right?" And Ben H is like, "Yup, of course, not a problem." So yeah, he went full onto the wall, into tower range, and made it. He made it.
A little bit on the painful side, that is for sure. And this is a situation where you've had a rough day in Heroes of the Storm. Mentally, you got to be strong to be a competitive team here. So I'm really hoping that's happening for Sweden number 3, where like, hey, someone's taking over the comms, like, hey guys, it's rough right now, but you know, this is our last potential tournament game. If we lose this one, you know, we're gonna be rough on this group stage. So let's try and make sure that we're able to pull together and get it together. 7 is about to occur for the blue team, and instead of trying to go down and contest these golem skulls, we're gonna see the red team instead go for the sap, which will give them a little bit of experience and potentially some damage on the 4. And poor TrikSlyr, dude, he gets completely ganked as he is going to be dealing with 3 people jumping out of the tunnels and picking him off quickly.
Yeah, Team France is currently going through their opponents like hot butter through cheese over here, turning this into a farming simulator.
That should be on an apron!
9-0. Hey, you know what? It actually is on an apron.
Wow!
We have our merch shop.
Where could I get one?
Check out the link in the description. Best merch in the house.
Okay, I might have to grab one of those. Another possible gank coming up here on the top side. It's going to be a taunt into a potential engage on the back line. Their goal is going to be trying to look down for the Ana. Here comes the silence from Stukov. Junkrat gets some damage here on the left. It looked like there was going to be a potential interrupt with the Impale from Imperiously, was unable to find it. And luckily, they actually only lost 1 person. I thought it would be a little bit more, but Dayquaza does finish up the golem on the bottom side. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a 100-0 golem in the early game at 5 minutes.
The first one isn't really that big of a deal usually because, again, it hasn't really scaled all that hard yet. But if you have 100-0, it essentially means you can ignore your defense completely and you can just push with the entire team. They're already ahead by 1 level, and yeah, this is going to get nasty. The only thing that they could have maybe done is leave, this was actually a strategy back in the days that it was used a lot, leave 1 skull at the bottom of the mines, wait for level 10, and then pick it up, so that you have an even more aggressive push. But they're just going in for more kills. Vala gets barely saved. TrikSlyr also still alive. Yeah, and the team, they are just going for it.
Okay, so they do survive. Solid for them. 10 is right around the corner for our blue team. Taunt comes up, full telekinesis onto Time Bullet. He turns around looking to get those auto attacks off and keep up the healing. TrikSlyr jumps in and does get off a decent amount of damage, actually. Trying to survive, but the Ariel was just a bit late on the healing. The cooldown was a bit too much. Combo into a golem, and that's going to be a double stack as 2 more go down. And man, it's getting brutal. Do we have ratings for this game? Is this rated R? Because this is some aggressive violence.
Yeah, that was not legal in a lot of states. Boy, oh boy, what a play. Straight into the stun, and they just murdered them. Cool adjustment, by the way, talking about this here also from Urel. I really like this. We've seen the occasional Sacred Ground play now, and it can be super sexy to have that. It's not happening that much. It's not a common pick, but it is happening a little bit more often, and depending on the map and how things are going, you can make some really sweet plays with it. So, yeah, for TrikSlyr, a good move, but boy, that really hurt. That fort gone, 13 kills to 0. 2.5 level lead, essentially. France is crushing it.
And they're looking for more here. Ana actually able to sniff out TrikSlyr, who was stuck in. He didn't even move after one. He just mounts up and stays in that bush. That's how much of a commanding lead they have right now. Now with the sappers on the top side, they're going to make a play for this 4. And TrikSlyr, he wants to move forward and start grabbing this wave on the bottom side, but he's been ganked so many times, he's just forced to play passively until he knows where all 5 members are for the opposing team. There we go. Now he's starting to see 4 in the top lane, so he's going to start soaking up and working, grabbing that experience as he desperately tries to get towards level 10.
This is, by the way, textbook variant Stukov. This is how you're supposed to play this. We've seen so many times that this combo was used and it just didn't really do anything. But this is how you do that. You roam the map, you look for targets, and you work your kills in. You have to do that if you want to be successful with it. And they have 13 kills now. The entire composition is designed around CC and doing exactly this. Isolate a target, move in, get a very quick kill, and then either go for the next target or move back out. And they're playing this perfectly. So for everybody that is sitting out there and is trying as a team to improve too, you can really look at how the French are playing this right now. How they're sitting at the side, still soaking the lanes, but how they're moving with the core team from lane to lane, target to target, how they're attempting to also anticipate where is my opponent right now, what are they doing. They did it specifically in the first mine phase, where they were going from one mine entrance to the next, always trying to check, hey, where are they? How can we get another quick kill? While just one or two of the team were still focusing on the objective.
Well, at this moment, I think I would like to say that mental health is a very important thing, and if you're getting ganked over and over, man, it's okay to go to your friends. You are loved. Let's see if TrikSlyr can turn this around, because it's been a rough early game for him. A full engage in the back line. Banana H going low on HP. Strafe comes out, but Banana H is able to survive. They dump everything in trying to get him, but TrikSlyr is trying to find his own pick. Finally gets one. There goes another silence around the corner. Time Bullet comes up, looking for Varian here, who is low on HP, and Swedes are finally getting a kill or two. But during all of this, Junkrat has been on the bottom side of the map working on grabbing some golems already, and still the red team, despite getting a couple of kills, has not made a way over to grab a single golem yet.
Yes, no skulls at all, whereas Yasuo is just now locking enough in to ensure that the team has an advantage no matter what. Now they are starting to chase him down, and Yasuo realizes it quickly enough to leave the mines, but now it's time for Team Sweden to potentially get at least to 49 skulls themselves. Vala, obviously, she has now died 3 times, so she comes with 25% additional attack speed after picking her level 1 talent. That has now been reduced by 15%. As long as you get your Manticore connection, you can do a lot here still. But we'll see if that's going to be enough later on. Finally 2 kills for them, and by the way, they also went Tormented Souls, so they have the Nano Boost combo with Ana that we highlighted earlier.
Time Bullet gets caught out and pushed on the left side. He was just trying to zone out, but the aggression was just a bit too much from France, and GW moves in and goes for a combination on the far right. Ana has now been picked up. TrikSlyr tries to come in with his Tormented Souls that you were talking about and tries to find a kill, but a silence is just a bit too much, and 3 have been wiped. Looking like it might be a 4th. Gonna even have a little bit of stamp on the field here to try and celebrate. Survive, but sadly could not get out. 68 golems to 32 as these skulls have stacked up, and now we're gonna have a large golem pushing in the top lane, and is bolstered out with a couple of giants who are helping push the wave as well.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be rough now, because the forts are gone, the keeps are the next thing up on the agenda, and France is trying to go for the group victory here. If they win on this map, they're first place. They move towards the next stage of the tournament. This is their 3rd match, and they have so far not lost a single map. They also basically shut in a lot of fights Vala down quickly, which means she's not even, she's not even stacking. She died 3 times and isn't even properly stacking, just sitting at 39 right now, not a single reward for her, whereas Alarak is already back up to 130 sadism, so he's bringing the pain. 32,000 damage for him. Aegis already used early, but they still get the isolation, and Urel, she dies first. How about the play against Malta, though? Stukov dies too. Vala, just as I talked about her, is all of a sudden ripping them apart. Got the nano boost, by the way, and is getting a triple kill.
Okay, able to get a couple cleanups, and with Urel going down, that means it's time for a goat bat. Goats are actually smart enough and can identify their name and will respond to it being called, similar to a dog. Interesting plays there coming in from the red team. They're able to start working on this golem. Can they save this keep? It looks like they're going to be able to do so. And now they're kind of in the game. And I say kind of because it is 20 kills to 5.
Yeah, 20 kills to 5, 2 level gap, 16 coming up in a moment. But the nano boosted Vala went strong on the last one. I gotta say, that was a nice change of pace. Now Alarak sitting at 150 sadism. That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's a big number.
That would be a good kill. Yeah.
And we're seeing that damage. Oh, he jumps on top of the Ana, bursts him down, but he might actually get reset here. GW trying to stay alive. Here comes the tire. Oh my gosh. No way. TrikSlyr comes in, though. He wants to finish the job. Will he have the firepower to do it? Nope. Banana H is able to provide just enough heals. Here comes Imperius trying to land the combo. Can they pop him? Nope.
That is just absurd. That he survives and they get the kills is ridiculous. 161 sadism. They're breaking through the bot and the top lane at the same time. Junkrat is pushing top side. Keep about to be eliminated at the bottom of the map. They're diving the core for kills. Trying to get Oriel too. This is just nasty.
That it is. And they're actually sitting behind the keep, letting the Giants clean it up. Team France knows that they're in a commanding lead right now. There is only a core standing. Tycho and crew do start to group up. They may have a chance for one last team fight. Hanzuka being chased down by Dakwaka. There goes the attempt to pick him off, but could Daquaza. Circle of Happiness goes down for Urel. She tries to hold down the corner. Starzer jumps the back line. Daquaza low in HP. Do we get a goat fact? It looks like we're not going to get a goat fact here as they're starting to escape. Tycho comes in for an attack. There's the taunt. There's the shadow charge. There's the telekinesis. And it's looking like this is going to be a full-on wipe of the entire team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man team wipe Caldor. And now the core is the only thing left standing, and it begins to fall. 50 down to 40, down to 30, and ladies and gentlemen, France is going to be able to get the win with a 2-0.
Nicely done. They take first place in Group B of the Nations Cup. GG.
Whew. That was a brutal game.
Daquaka, the love child of Daquaza and Quacknix.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't catch that one.
You make up the best names.
I really do.
It's like always, you come in with a new one every single time, and they're brilliant. I'm just sitting there, just laughing my ass off. Daquaka.
Well, I'll be back next week for more improper name calling in our casting. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Caldor, thank you for the cast, my dude. I appreciate you as always.
Always. So, yeah, have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you. You need to tell me what to do with the invite thingy right now with the chat and everything. Like, I don't know if.
Oh yeah, I'll just close it and you're good to go. Yeah, I'll just close it right now. Actually,
you do it. Okay.
Yeah. I'll just close it and you won't have to worry about it. My chat's gone. Everyone, thank you so much on Counter Stream for letting me be here. I'll see you guys next Saturday for more casting. It's good to be back and enjoying some HOTS casting, and of course, thank you to the players for bringing us good games. GG's, everyone. Goodbye.
See you in a bit, dude.
Okay, chat, I am going to close out this stream. I am not allowed to stream while I am casting the TrikSlyr events. They would like to have all of the people over there, and also they don't want me showing the background because they're doing like a full production and whatnot. So if you guys want to watch it, I will be casting in a couple of hours. I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice for a little bit, and we will go from there, okay, guys? So let me go ahead and host them over on TrikSlyr events, and you guys will see me there in a little bit, all right? Go say hi, drop a trick S, let them know that you enjoy seeing us, and I will see you guys then, okay? A couple more hours. Boom!